Lead attorney here. Hope you guys are doing well. We have a show for you. We have a show for you today, man. We had a very interesting live stream yesterday, and it was really one of the best live streams that we've had. Struggle stringing me again. So we had a very interesting live stream yesterday, and it got a lot of praise. A lot of people showed up. We had Kwame Brown showed up, Jessica Reed showed up, Choke No Joke showed up, John Crime showed up, Tommy Sotomayor showed up. A lot of people showed up, and we had the chance to interact. We had the chance to communicate. And that's something that I've always wanted for this channel, for people to be able to talk and for us to discuss some serious topics. And so we had the chance to do that. And looking back at the comments, a lot of that live stream, it got a lot of praise, but it also got some criticism. It got some critiques. And that's what I want to talk about. I never want to shy away from critiques. I never want to shy away from criticisms. So I want you guys to, I'm going to review maybe 2 or 3 of the biggest critiques that I got that I kept seeing over and over. And I want to talk about them. One was, why was Jessica Reed pulled up on the stream with 3 men? I think I was on there. Tommy Sotomayor was on there. Choke No Joke was on there. And a lot of people wanted to know, how was she thrown into this environment? And then also people wanted to know why Tommy Sotomayor was on the stream in the first place. Like, what was he there? What was he there for? Right. And so I want to talk about these things, particularly also with Tommy Sotomayor, really both of them. One of the questions that I want to ask about Tommy Sotomayor, I don't think I had anybody comment saying that they were glad that he was there. Right. Now, to be fair to Tommy Sotomayor, I had him on there for a reason, because I was going to talk about him. But the way that the whole Choke No Joke, Jessica Reed story transpired, there really wasn't even time. I looked up, 3 hours had passed. Right. And so there wasn't enough time to get to his part. There certainly wasn't enough time to get to the Cat Williams, Cedric the Entertainer part. And so I really only got to one part of the 3 that I wanted to get to. And again, I looked up and it was 3-4 hours had passed. So I had to end the stream at some point. I think Tommy had to go as well because he was starting another stream. But the reason that I had him up is because I was gonna discuss him. And guys, this is something that I truly believe, that anytime you talk about anybody, a man or a woman or anybody, you give them the chance to come up and respond. But I want to talk a point beyond that, because very few people, really almost no one that I saw in the comments was glad that he was there. And I think this is an interesting moment, because there are not many people in the manosphere and in the black side of YouTube that are more controversial than Tommy Sotomayor. And I want to ask you guys, it seems to me that a lot of you guys want him blacklisted. A lot of you guys don't want him on any channel. Some of you guys don't even want him on his own channel. And so I want to talk about that. And I'm going to drop the link, and I want you to call in and give your perspectives on the Tommy Sotomayor, his involvement, and kind of where you think he should fit into YouTube at all. I want you to talk about how you feel about the Jessica Reed, and I'm gonna delve into that, because you guys need to hear my perspective on this. But it was a very, very interesting stream yesterday, and I'm glad that we had it. There is one thing that I wanted to talk about before that, and this is we had John Crimes on, right? And John Crimes was on the stream, and he gave some very valuable input, and he left. And then when he left, after he left, he discussed his involvement in this stream. And I think there were some points where, he discussed it further later on last night. And in fact, I woke up in the morning and someone had emailed me some of the videos that he did, right? Shout out to, I think it was Robin, right? She emailed it to me, right? So people were listening, and people were noticing he had some critical things to say about him being on the show, and about how he was treated, right? And so I had known about one of the videos in which he talked about me. And this isn't on any beef type stuff, guys. This is just, we're just talking, right? Because I believe, especially in my job, I believe that communication really is one of the most important things. I want to get into that. First, let me shout out some people who are here. Let me just recognize the people in the chat, because this is going to be a real one. This is going to be a real one. We got Lee Drummond in the house. And what's the holdup? I'm here on time. I was here on time. Finally, I've not struggled streaming too much, right? Great to see you, Lee Drummond. We got Faye watching the house. Great to see you again. What's up, Faye? We got Mitzi in the house. We got the young Prince. We've kind of strayed away a little bit from where we started. Shout out to the young Prince. So much of the content on this channel is dedicated to him and people in his cohort, people in his generation that are coming up, really trying to help the young ones. Young Prince is a 25-year-old man, got his life together. He's got his own house and his own car, right? And he wants a family. So I've got some information that can help him, and I've tried to put it up on the channel. So we got old school Patricia in the house. Shout out. We got Unique Ura. Am I saying that right? Hello, lead attorney, and everyone in the chat. We got Trash Can Waves. Great to see you. Says Tommy is worse than Charlemagne. And this is what I want to talk about. This is one of the things I absolutely want to talk about, his involvement. Where do you guys want Tommy on YouTube? What do you think his place should be? Some of you support, not you, Trash Can, obviously not you. Some of you support Charlemagne. Some of you are very against cancel culture. You're very against cancel culture. You feel like cancel culture doesn't have a place. You feel like cancel culture is wrong. You feel like cancel culture doesn't have any rules. You feel like cancel culture can come after anybody. Some of you are very, very against cancel culture. And fair enough. But then when Tommy jumps on a live stream, what's the first thing you want him done? You want him booted. You want him canceled. You want him deplatformed. And so I want to talk about this. Should we have a blacklist for YouTubers? And this is not downgrading or being derogatory to Tommy, and it's not lifting him up. It's not defending him. I'm asking you, where do you think his place should be? So I want to talk about that later on in the stream. We got my man Odyssey, not Odussey. Thank you for correcting me on that. Odyssey Media Group says, I was happy it was there. And see, this is interesting, because I didn't get any of this in the comments. I didn't see any. The video got some comments yesterday, and about a third of them were like, why was Tommy even there? He's so toxic. He's so this, he's so that. Fair enough. You guys certainly know way more about Tommy than I do. But I want to ask you what you think his place in this should be, right? What does the logic sphere say? You ain't got to explain how you run your channel. Shout out to Logic. And to be honest, there's a part of me that feels that way. But I really want this to be a community, and I want to know how you guys feel, and I want us to talk because there were multiple miscommunications yesterday, and I want to clear them up. But I appreciate you saying this, Logic Sphere, and I do try to set some rules and lay the groundwork, lay the foundation of how this is going to work on this channel. I do not want it to be, I've said this over and over again, where you have 10 women screaming about how bad men are, or 10 men screaming about how bad women are. This is not going to be a place where 9 or 10 people get up on a StreamYard live stream and start, this echo chamber and everybody's screaming. We're not going to have that here. But I also recognize that you guys are a huge part of this. And listen, I'm a new YouTuber myself, man. I've only been doing this about a year. Live streams, maybe I only have about 20 of them. So I'm still learning myself. I lean a lot on Gail, my number one moderator. I lean so much on the Steel Curtain, aka Steel Attorney, right? I lean a lot on the moderators, even other people who have YouTube channels. I watch some of Bernard Riley's content. I think he's a fantastic YouTube content creator. He does these big live streams. I don't know how he does it. I watch Jessica X. Shout out to Jessica X. I picked up a lot of tips from her as well. So I'm still learning myself. If you guys can critique me and let me know, hey, you need to do this or do that or do this or do that, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. I'm not going to let my ego get in the way. But thank you for that, Logisphere. What is Kike Miss DSW Diva Lomo say? Shout out. Says, I think Jessica being on and standing up for herself was powerful for her. I totally agree. And I'm so glad to hear you say this. In our society, sometimes military veterans can say things that civilians can't. Sometimes women can say things that men can't, right? I thought her being on the show, I totally agree with you. It was super powerful. And I think it even means more coming from you as a woman. So I think you're exactly right. What does Odyssey say? Tommy name was hashtag and people were still tripping. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like him. Miss Hall says, hey, lead attorney and the chat. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to kind of get into this. I don't want to hold this up. I have to, this might be a shorter one. We got my girl Raven in the house, Raven Von Cuervo. Shout out to Raven. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. What is trash can waves? Tommy needs to be off everything. Yeah. So it seems like what you're talking about, trash can waves, is really a canceling. This to me seems like a canceling. They say, let's cancel Tommy. I'm putting words in your mouth, but this is what it seems like to me. And I think a lot of people would agree with you. But what I found interesting, though, when I was talking about canceling Charlemagne, so many people were against the cancel culture. So Trash Can Waves, let me know. Are you one of these people who are against cancel culture, or are you one of these people who support it? It's interesting. What does Carrie say? Carrie says, I have no idea who Tommy is either. It's so, man, we all find out things. I've known about Tommy. There was a time when I used to consume a lot of Tommy's content back when he was talking about the BT 1000s. It was very, very controversial. But then, everybody goes through these phases, these YouTube phases where you're subscribed to this content creator and then you move on, right? That's even happened with me. So what's her name? Black Urban Goddess. Black Urban Goddess showed up a couple of days ago. It's like, lead attorney. I left and you had 3,000 subscribers. I come back, you got 20,000. I was like, oh my God, me abandonaste. Me abandonaste. That's what I told her. I said, you abandoned me, you left me. Right? But this is how people are. People, they're going to ride with you for a little bit and then they're going to move on. And so there was a time when, I stopped following Tommy. But, listen, people are finding out about Tommy. People are finding out about me. People are finding out about Kwame Brown, about the Jessica Reed story, Charlemagne. People find out about stuff every single day. It's so easy. And I got some criticism this as well of talking about Charlemagne. People say, oh, well, you knew about Charlemagne. You knew about the Jessica Reed story. It came out in 2018. I didn't know. I've had people tell me that they found out through my videos. In some of my videos, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about because I didn't know myself. So when Carrie B says, I have no idea who Tommy is either. This is absolutely a fair point. This is absolutely a fair point. And so I definitely want to talk about this as well. Want to shout out to K Business Podcast. Y'all go check out K Business Podcast. Excellent young man. I don't want to say young because I'm not really sure how old you are. I think I might be a little bit older than you, but I don't want to pull rank. But excellent man, black man, doing fantastic content here on YouTube. I'm not big into podcasts, so I don't know whether people are on Stitcher or I don't know how that stuff works. But his YouTube channel, his YouTube videos are excellent. So y'all go check him out. What does he say? Awesome show. I am free for an hour to watch, listen, and learn. Fantastic. 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 All right. What is Reese's Pieces? I love that name. Reese's Pieces. I'm against cancel culture. Everybody has a right to their opinion. However, in my opinion, Tommy represents hate, division, manipulation, and has allegedly made threats to other content creators. I think this is an absolutely fair point. I'm not sure what all Tommy has said and done. I think this is absolutely a fair point. And it leads me into this John Crimes situation that people are emailing me about. What happened with John Crimes? You guys, who is John Crimes? John Crimes made a documentary about the Charlemagne Jessica Reed situation. And I thought it was an excellent documentary. The issue was that he used some portions of a documentary made by a man named Choke No Joke, and he didn't ask for permission. Now, as I said yesterday, I've used a ton of stuff not asking for permission. Fine. But this situation was a little different because when he got called out on it, he kind of doubled down on it. Now, if someone calls me out for using their permission, using their information or their intellectual property without permission, I give it up, right? I say, you got me. I don't try to double down on it. But he wasn't doubling down on it just to be an ass. I mean, he was trying to get a good story out, a great story out. He was trying to get justice for a young Black lady. So it wasn't like he was just, doing it just to do it. He was doing it for a cause, right? So there was some intricacy there. There was some nuance there. And I was going to talk about this situation, and he showed up. And so, of course, I bring him on. And guys, let me let you know, this was not the first time he's been on. He's been on in the past. He's always been super kind, super respectful to me, and it's always been reciprocated. And when he came on the very first time, in fact, and I made a point to point this out, the very first thing he said out of his mouth was giving credit to Choke No Joke for the video that Choke made, right? But fair enough. He comes on yesterday, and he seemed a little. He comes on yesterday and he talks about the situation, but then Choke No Joke shows up, and so I'm like, oh great, this can be a time for communication. And he's like, no, I'm going to get off. And Tommy was like, well, why are you going to get off? It seems like this is a good time. And I was agreeing with Tommy. I was like, hey, we can all talk and maybe clear the air in this. And he was like, no, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off. And it was fine. I didn't understand it. And he gets off and it's fine, right? The stream continues on. But then at some point he starts another stream and he was talking about some of the reasons why he left the stream. I'm not going to get into those reasons. If you want to know the reasons, you can check out his channel. It's John Crimes, and I think it's something The Real, REEL. And he mentioned his reasons a few times in subsequent videos or streams, however you want to call it. And I saw it. I saw maybe the first video, and I commented on him. I said, hey, listen, if you feel like you're being unfair, I apologize, number one. I apologize if I was being unfair to you. And I said, you can come back. Anybody, if there's anybody in the chat, if I have been unfair to you, I apologize to you, number one, but you're welcome to come on and you're welcome to tell me to my face how I've been unfair to you. And I'll apologize to you again and I'll make it right. And so I said, John, listen, you have all of these reasons why you left, and all of these reasons why I made you uncomfortable, or why the setting was uncomfortable, why you were uncomfortable. All of your reasons are valid. I just didn't know because you didn't tell me, right? If I put you in an uncomfortable situation, I apologize for it, but you have to know it wasn't out of malice. I just didn't know all of your reasons because they weren't expressed to me. And he mentioned this in a few times that night, and some of it was extremely critical. And I was like, damn. I said, and I commented to him. I sent him 3 or 4 messages. I said, hey, you can come on the show. Like, you're doing all this behind the scenes, but you can come on the show and talk. And I sent him an email too, saying that you can come on the show and we can talk it out. Like, we're brothers. And he said, well, listen, why don't you give me a call? So I gave him a call, and I felt like the call was super productive. And he explained to me the reasons why he left. And I thought all of his reasons were absolutely valid. And I think he understood that he had not communicated those reasons to me. So how was I to know, right? But again, this is just a miscommunication, let's say. Right. And I think he's a great guy. I told him if he ever wants to come back on the show, he absolutely can. Anytime. If he wants to come back on the show and talk about this, if he said he doesn't want to do it, I totally respect that. I said, if he wants to come back on the show and talk about anything else, he's certainly invited. And so that's kind of what happens with that. I don't want to get too much into it. Again, if you guys want to know his reasons, you can check out his show, right? But shout out to John. What does Sick Lid say? Sick Lid says, "Happy Juneteenth, everyone. We want free." Yes, y'all's the President Biden gave all the government employees the day off, right? I think that's what happened. What does the Dark Glitch say? Dark, can I have a shout out? I subbed and like shout out to the Dark Glitch. Shout out to the Dark Glitch. If he has a YouTube channel, y'all go check him out. Y'all go check him out. All right. So shout out to the Dark Glitch. What does Little Rock say? Little Rock says, "Lead attorney, continue being a man. Work with Tommy and whoever you choose. Don't let the channel hopper swing." I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want to talk to you guys. And listen, I really want you guys to help me out too. If y'all see that I'm not doing something right, let me know. I think John's been on YouTube, what, 10 years, 7 years? He's been on a ton of time. He's got way more experience than I do. So if you guys think that I'm not that I'm doing something wrong, you let me know. You let me know. What do I know? What does Trash Can Wave say? In John's defense, the panel was almost like when President Trump brought up all Bill Clinton's alleged assault victims and put them in on the front row at Bill Clinton's speech. So you're saying like it was a setup, right? The kind of a setup. Here's what you have to know, and I think in a lot of ways, I think you might be exactly right, Trash Can, but you have to know this. I didn't know any of the backstory, right? I didn't know. And I think if you ask John will tell you that I didn't know. I think he actually said that a few times yesterday. This is why I was saying communication is so important. Now, to his credit, I think he said that he sent me a private chat. I don't check the chats. I should check the chats, apparently, but I don't check them. Why don't you? Because I'm doing too much stuff. I can barely run this damn thing as I'm doing it now. Should I check the chats? I should. I should do a lot of stuff, and I don't do it. So that was definitely my fault. All right. But yeah, this is something that maybe I should start doing. Not the private chat is, I guess, is what I'm saying. Gary says, "No, you have not been up here." I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, what does Sean say? Shout out to Sean, and again, thank you so much, Sean, for the super chat. Sean says, "Tommy shouldn't be canceled, but he doesn't belong on your channel. Your channel doesn't condone hate, chaos, or homophobia. Your channel doesn't condone hate, chaos, or homophobia." I'm glad you said that, and I totally agree with you. I totally agree with that last sentence. Here's the thing, guys, and I wanted to talk about the Jessica situation first, but this Tommy situation is very important too. You guys need to know something about me, right? I'm an attorney, and the way our justice system works, it works on a very few but fundamental principles. And one of the principles that it works under when we have these trials, these hearings, is the right of confrontation. Right? You have the right to confront the people that are going to show up in court and talk about you. There's no talking about you in secret. There's no talking about you in back rooms. You get to know, right? Now, I put Tommy's face on the thumbnail. I was going to talk about him. I was going to talk about him and the Kevin Samuels stuff. The whole point of the channel, the whole point of that video, guys, was talking about fair use, talking about people stealing or taking each other's talking points, taking each other's content. That's why John and Choke No Joke were there. That's why Cat Williams and Cedric the Entertainer. That's why they're on the thumbnail. If Cedric the Entertainer would have showed up and said, "Hey, lead attorney, you're talking about me. Come on the platform, because I'm talking about you, and I want you to be a part of this. If I'm talking about you." If Cat Williams, "Hey man, you're talking about me. Come on," it was a bad Cat Williams impression. "Come on up." If John says, "Hey, you're talking about me. Come on up. Let's talk." If Kevin Samuel says, "Hey, you're talking about me. Come on up." If Choke No Joke says, "Hey, you're talking about me. Come on up." Well, guess what, guys? If Tommy Sotomayor shows up and says, "Hey, you're talking about me. Come on up." no matter really what you've done, that's a strong statement. I don't want to say that because there are exceptions. There are exceptions. And maybe you can say, I violated one of my own exceptions. It's fine. But to me, just personally, on this channel, if I'm talking about you, I really want to give you an opportunity to respond. Guys, you might not know this. Some of you guys are so new. There was an incident that I had my very first live stream, and I might have had 70 people watching. And there was a lady named Indigo Moon. A few of you might know who Indigo Moon is. And Indigo Moon is a great lady. And she was expressing her opinions. But I didn't like her opinions at all. And her opinions, I didn't like them so much that it was her opinions were distracting me. She didn't mean any harm. But it was my very first live stream. Like, I'm not even checking the private chat now. Imagine how I was in I didn't know how any of this stuff worked. And her comments were not made out of malice, but I disagree with them so much that I kicked her off the damn stream. Not only did I kick her off the stream, I kicked 7 people off the stream trying to kick her off. Like, let's say that her name is here. I kicked off anybody even I kicked them all off. Guys, back in the day, I only had one moderator. I kicked my own moderator off the damn stream to kick her off the stream. 20 seconds after I kicked her off the stream, it hit me. I said, the lead attorney, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. This lady was not being malicious. She was saying some BS, but she really felt it. And so I brought her back on, and I apologized to her on the stream and to all the other people I kicked off trying to get her off, right? But it's not going to be a place where I'm just going to kick you off or you're saying BS. And if I'm going to keep talking about you, I'm going to make every effort to bring you on. Every effort. Because I'm talking about you. Guys, in the last line, not the last one, but the live stream before this, there was an attorney that came on. And the attorney came on and she started making a joke about my soundboard, but I didn't know it was a joke. Guys, I'm new to this. If you tell me you can't hear the sound or something, I'm taking it seriously. I'm like, oh my God. I'm checking my levels. I'm checking the roadcaster. I had a whole stream. Shout out to Patricia and Brother Clarence, where my sound went out. My sound went out for 5 minutes, which is bad if you're not a YouTube creator. Let me tell you something. If your sound goes off for 5 minutes and you don't know why, that's bad. I had people on the channel, people on the panel. Brother Clarence and Patricia, they held the whole thing down. They covered your boy while I was getting my sound together. So this attorney comes up and she starts making a joke about my sound. And I'm like, oh my God, is my sound okay? I don't know, it's a joke. And then she didn't get the reception that she wanted. And so right after that, she says, well, something to the effect of, you don't treat attorneys right who come up. What she didn't know, though, was that there was an attorney already in the chat, on the stream, who I had shouted out. Shout out to Stephanie Collins, a great criminal defense attorney in Texas. She didn't know that Stephanie was right there. And I had said on the stream before she came up that Stephanie knew more about what I was talking about than I did, because she's a criminal defense attorney. What she also didn't know was that the stream before, I had another attorney on. Shout out to co-counsel GP, a great attorney out in Louisiana. And he was schooling me on Louisiana law. And I shouted him out. So she came on talking all this gibberish, and I kicked her off. And honestly, I didn't feel bad about it. But here's the thing. 20 minutes later, she asked to come on again. I brought her right back up. And when I brought her right back up, guess what she did? She started telling me about what I needed to do and how I needed to run my channel. I kicked her off again. I don't give a damn. Like, if I'm going to talk about you, I want you to come on, but please, be respectful, right? So there are going to be some limits, but I'm not just going to kick you off willy-nilly and silence you. So when Sean says your channel doesn't condone hate, chaos, or homophobia, he's absolutely right. But if I'm talking about you, I really do want to give you the opportunity to come on and express your views, right? So that is something that I really do take that seriously. I really do. All right, let me get a couple more. What is Odyssey Media Group? What does Odyssey say? Odyssey says, I bet to all who is in the chat who hate Tommy, they won't go live and talk about him on your platform. Tell them to hit the live stream and debate him. Yeah. Now, what I don't want to do is turn this into a debate between Tommy and other people on this platform, because Tommy's he's well capable of doing that on that platform. But if you want to talk about whether or not you feel like Tommy should be canceled, Tommy should be deplatformed, I certainly want you to come up and talk about this, because this is one of the things that I got so much criticism of. A lot of people do not want to see Tommy anywhere on YouTube. And I'm not saying that's an unreasonable point of view based on what some of you may think he has said, right? This is why I want you guys to come up and let's talk about it. But I want to talk about this Jessica Reed thing too. But thank you again for that super chat. Obviously, I appreciate it, and I agree. If anybody wants to come up and talk about the Jessica Reed or Tommy situation, I've dropped the link in the chat. You're absolutely welcome. It says, lead attorney, do you mind if I share some of your content? I'm trying to show some ladies what a professional black man looks like. First of all, thank you. Thank you for calling me a professional black man. I appreciate it. Also, thank you for asking. I said in my last stream, man, I bogarted some stuff, and I didn't ask at all. But there are black YouTubers that I have asked for stuff as well. I don't care if I take stuff from the NFL, and if the NFL says, "Hey, shut it down," I'm shutting it down because I know I'm wrong. But for smaller channel, I took a clip, a whole video of a man who he has 800 subscribers, and I had 1,000, and I said, "Listen, your video is so impactful to me that I want to make a whole video about it." I said, do you give me permission? He didn't respond, and I didn't make the video. And I asked him again, like a week later, I said, please let me make a video about your video. And he said, yeah, no problem. And I think it's one of my best videos. I don't think he liked it. That's what hurt. I don't think he liked the finished product. But I think it was a fantastic video. So I don't know how I feel about that. But to answer your question, you can share all of my content. You can take all of my content. You never have to ask me for permission. But I appreciate you asking. But yes, that's you can absolutely do that. And thank you again, Jared. And thank you for the super chat as well. I appreciate that. And we got rebuilding Black Wall Street. Hey guys, this is John Doe. I don't know if you recognize him because of the name, but Rebuilding Black Wall Street. I'm going to do a interview with him on his channel. And what does he say? We must learn how to talk to people who don't agree with him. Communication is all important. That's why the whole John thing was a little disappointing, because anybody who could have looked at the situation saw there was a breakdown of communication. And I don't think John was wrong in his shoes about how he was feeling about things. He wasn't wrong at all. If I was in John's shoes, I would have felt the same way. The only thing was the way that he felt wasn't, I didn't get the memo. That was the only thing. Right. But y'all go check out John's channel, Rebuilding Black Wall Street. He's doing big things over there. Now, I want to talk about the Jessica Reed thing for a second, because okay. And what does Ola is either say? You didn't do your research, lead attorney. I want to talk about this. Guys, listen. I don't even know where to start with this, because some of you, it doesn't seem like Ola is either. It doesn't seem like this person is a YouTuber, right? I'm trying to put out a lot of content for you guys. You guys are watching it, which means like you have some type of value. I don't want to get into John's reasons, but I will tell you this. Some of John's reasons have to do with something that happened, let's say 5 years ago, 7 years ago. John came up to my channel I didn't call John and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. Please come up. I didn't email John saying, hey, John, I'm doing this live stream about you. Please come up. John came up on his own. When you say don't do your research, I cannot research. Patricia Garner is in the waiting room. The real wise Nubian is in the waiting room. They come up to talk. It is impossible for me to go into Patrice Garner's history 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and research that. It is impossible for me to do that on Real Wise. I'm not going to do it. You consume the content and you decide whether you want to watch it or not. I'm not going to make these decisions for you. If you don't want to hear Tommy, if you don't want to hear John, if you don't want to hear Patrice, you are an adult, you are intelligent, you make that call. I'm putting this stuff up here for you. I'm not going to research everybody that I put on. I have Bernard Riley on. He had a great story about fighting for custody of his kids. I'm not going to do 12 years of research on that man. I had El Guapo on, a leader of men, teaching men how to fly F-16s for the military. I'm not going to go 7 years into his history and try to research him. I'm going to bring him on. He's going to talk, and then you decide whether you like it or not. I had Ike on. I'm not going to go to Nigeria and try to do research on Ike. You decide, Ola. If you don't like it, then you don't have to be here. Can I do more research? I can do a background check in 12 years trying to investigate Ike. I'm not going to spend 12 years of my life investigating this man. You decide. I'm going to have him on. I'm going to have him speak for an hour, and you decide whether he's worth your time or not. That's what I have to say about that. All right. Jessica. Let's talk about Jessica for a second. What happened? What happened, guys? What happened? I was talking to why first, guys. The reason Tommy was on, and you guys know, I already said, why was Tommy on the screen? I brought Tommy up to talk about his situation with Kevin Samuels because I was going to talk about Tommy, and if I'm going to talk about you, you're welcome to come on. Tommy was on, Choke was on, talking about what John had said. So it was me, if I'm remembering this correctly. I think I'm trying to remember it correctly. It was me, Tommy, and John. I got lucky, and I saw that someone said that Jessica was in the chat. And then Jessica said, how do I get on or something like that? Where's the link? I dropped the link for her. I did not call Jessica. Guys, I talked to Jessica a few weeks ago. I didn't tell her today that I'm doing this thing, right? And to be honest, guys, it really wasn't even about Jessica. It was about the content between Choke and John. Jessica showed up and she asked for the link. I did not tell her. I didn't call her. I didn't email her to tell her this was going on. She showed up by herself. A woman in her early 30s, I believe. Some of the people in the comments were like, oh, lead attorney, I can't believe you had her up with 3 men. No one forced her up. I didn't tell her that we were going to be talking about her because it really wasn't about her. I know that sounds bad, but I'm talking about content and fair use. She decided to come up with these 3 men already here. All right. Now, why was she brought up? Again, guys, if you want to come up, you're able to come up. And let me take a step back. A lot of you guys don't know who Jenny Rivera is or was, right? Jenny Rivera, she's not really big in Georgia, not really big on the East Coast. But if you go to Texas, if you go to California, You want to talk about a queen? She's a singer, and she sang like banda, like Mexican songs. And she died. She died some years ago in a plane accident. But she was so big that her funeral was televised. I can remember, I can see it. I can see the damn funeral in my head. It was televised. And her son spoke. A lot of people spoke at her funeral, but her son spoke at the funeral. And one of her sons who spoke was like 10 years old, 12 years, like his voice hadn't even changed. Can you imagine being a 10-year-old speaking in front of thousands in an auditorium, in front of millions on TV, and you're speaking about your mother's death? You want to talk about something that's traumatic? I mean, you've already lost your mom. It wasn't like she was sick or something. Her plane went down and she's gone. You want to talk about trauma, right? And a lot of people can say, oh, well, you know, why did they let that 10-year-old boy, that 12-year-old boy, why did they put him up there to talk about his mama? You know, these Vietnam War vets, guys, you know, there are wars and there are wars. All right. There are wars where you press a button and, you know, a missile comes out, but there are other wars. And the Vietnam War was another war. Now, I'm not in the military. I'm just telling you what I've learned based on my research, right? It was another type of war. It was a hardcore war. And there are men today, 70-year-old men, 75-year-old men, who can never speak about what happened in that goddamn jungle. And every now and then on Memorial Day or some event, some funeral, you'll see a 75-year-old get up, kind of bent over, and there'll be a microphone, and he'll get up to the mic. It takes him 2 minutes to get one word out. You say, oh, you know, he's so traumatized. Why you let him up there to speak? He can't even speak. A Vietnam vet will sit at that mic for 5 minutes, and he opens up his mouth and nothing but moaning comes out. It's trauma. You say, well, why did you put him up there? Why did you let him speak at the ceremony? He's got a truth. That 10-year-old boy, 12-year-old boy who lost his mama in a plane crash, he has a truth. Some of you are like, oh, well, lead attorney, how could you let her get up there and talk? How could you let Jessica get up there and talk? Jessica has a truth. Like when a person has a truth and when the person wants to talk, nobody forced that 12-year-old boy to get up there. Nobody forced that 75-year-old man to get up there and talk about his fallen brother. No one forced Jessica to click the link when she saw who was on the panel, to click the link and get up on the panel with the people on the panel. Just because you might not be able to do it, just because you might not be able to be a 12-year-old and talk about your mother's death in front of millions, just because you might not have the strength to live through what happened in that jungle and then get up so many years later over the grave site of one of your fallen brothers, just because you might not have the strength to get up on a YouTube channel and talk about what's been going on with you. Don't put that on somebody else. Some people are different than you. This is stuff you got to know. And guys, let me, some of you guys are new. You come over here, the Charlemagne stuff, you don't really know about me. You know, I'm an attorney. I've been practicing 20 years. I have represented so many domestic violence victims who are men. So many who are women. You guys might not know about this, but I've been 20 years, I've been representing children in juvenile court who have been abused physically, who have been abused sexually. Representing 12-year-olds, 6-year-olds. I've represented 6-month-olds and looked their parents in the face and told them their parental rights should be terminated today over what they did or didn't do or allowed to happen. I've mediated cases for 20 years. You guys might not know me. I've got the highest certification for mediators in the state. I'm a certified, specialized domestic violence mediator. I'm not going to put Jessica in a situation that I don't think she can handle. But I am empowering her so that she can make the call. She asked for the link. I'm going to give it to her. I don't know if you guys remember, Choke came in. Choke came in, he was hot. Do y'all remember when Choke came in the first time? He was hot. And I muted him because he was talking over me. I said, hey. And I was super nice about it. But basically, I don't really like your energy. You're coming in too hot. And he didn't like what I was saying. And he waved goodbye. He was muted. So he can say, he waved goodbye and he left. But he came back. And when he came back, his energy was totally different. Now, he kind of got into it with Jessica a little bit in the beginning. But in the end, what did you see? You saw a man who was interrupting everybody. There was a point, he let Jessica say whatever, not interrupting. And then when Jessica was done, he came in and they talked and they got a resolution. Some of you guys want these survivors just to hide. Where's the resolution? You guys don't know this. I told Jessica, I talked to her a few weeks ago. I only talked to her one time. I said, listen, whenever you want to come up, this platform is yours. You can go to whoever you want. You can go on Kwame Brown. You can go on Tasha K. You can go wherever you want. But you have a home here. So I'm not going to substitute my beliefs on who she should talk to and who she shouldn't talk to and where she should talk to them and what time and whether it should be online or offline. This is a lady who's intelligent, in her 30s. And if she decides that this is where she wants to talk, she has a home here. And if you don't understand it, then that's on you. It's on you. Guys, you guys can criticize me for stuff, and if I think it's fair, I'll accept it. But don't come over here putting your views ahead of somebody else's. If somebody wants to talk, I'm gonna let them talk. Shout out to Snuggles, talking about Bernard Riley. I've stolen Snuggles away. So is that a little anger I see coming out of you, lead attorney? Hold your horses, buddy. Telling me to slow down. Slow down. I'm not angry, guys. And I want you guys to be able to criticize me. Right? But I want to be able to respond. Right? What does Jessica X say? Jessica was on the live stream. She says she literally asked to come up and could see the men on the panel. I'm not sure you guys know how this works. Jessica, she's totally right. She's absolutely right. She's saying it better than I said it. But the way Jessica's saying is absolutely right. She could see people on the panel and she asked for the link and then she clicked the link and got up there. Some of you guys want to substitute your judgment for hers. That's not the way to do it. It's not the way to do survivors. Everybody has their own truth. What is Calvin? Shout out to Calvin. Calvin Dickerson, man, been supporting me forever. Says lead attorney, all Tommy does is point out the truth. All Tommy does is point out the truth. A lot of black folks don't like to hear the truth. Why do we like to be lied to? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Tommy says, listen, how long has Tommy been on YouTube, man? I've got some things. I've been on YouTube, a year and some months, and there's some things I look back and I'm like, ugh, kind of wish I hadn't said that. Joe Rogan gets a lot of flack. But Joe Rogan's like, man, I've been doing podcasts for 10 years every day, three hours a day. Of course, I'm going to say some messed up stuff. Although I think, listen, I don't want to sugarcoat this. I think Tommy has said some terrible things. I think he said some absolutely terrible things. Is he justified in saying that? I don't know. I guess you got to ask him. People have done some horrible things to other people. Some of the times those things that they have done have been justified. Sometimes those things have not been justified. To find out if something is justified or not, you really got to get into the details. And I'm not into the details. I don't know. You'd have to talk about each specific incident. But I have heard him say some things that I thought were horrible and unjustified. Having said that, if I'm going to talk about you, you're welcome to come on. That's how we do it over here on the Lead Attorneys channel. What is Little Rock? Little Rock 2517. Thank you, so super generous. Little Rock 17. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, he's a Navy man. A Navy man, so he knows much more about this military and fighting and all this other stuff than I do. I'm too big of a wuss, guys, to join the military. So shout out to Little Rock. And I see you guys in the back. I'm going to get to you guys, but I want to talk a little bit about this first. I want to set the stage. All right. But thank you so much, Little Rock. All right. Got Tommy. What does Tommy say? You seem to be bothered now with what they say to you, but I have been, you know what, where is the link? I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link, Tommy, because I'm talking about you. I'm going to pull you up in a second, though. All right. All right. So I dropped the link. Who else we got? We got Robert Johnson. Let them know who the F you are. Yeah, guys, I really want you guys to know. They're probably saying, why are you screaming? Because I want us all to be on the same page. I don't know if it's possible. But you guys have got to know that this channel is a little different. This channel is a little different. Oh, man. You bombed it. You bombed the lead attorney. Bombed the lead attorney. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Little Rock. 2550. Super, super generous of you. I really appreciate it. And guys, listen, I used to have a guy who he would come on and give me, 99-cent super stickers all the time. And I super appreciated it. There are people who never give a dime, but I see them in the chats all the time. And I appreciate you guys so much. I do, though, want to point out when somebody is being super, super gracious to me. And it makes me feel like my content and my time is being really valued. And that means a lot to me. I was going to give up, guys, last year. I was trying to do this YouTube stuff as a quarantine type of thing, and it was not working out. I hated it. I was so bad at everything. I had to teach myself everything. I had to learn everything. I'm still learning. But it was tough. It was absolutely tough. So when I see stuff like this, when you bless me like this, Little Rock, it really touches me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Really appreciate it, Little Rock. All right, we got my man Rebel. Thank you again, Little Rock. We got my man Rebel. What does Rebel say? Lead attorney, I agree. People aren't as weak as society says. Yes, I have 2 deployments, another military man. I have 2 deployments, one overseas tour, some of the baddest MFers I know are military women. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely agree. I mean, guys, if the NFL says, hey, you use our stuff and you didn't ask, take it down. Right? If somebody in the military says, hey, you know, you don't know the half of it over here, how deep it gets. And what am I supposed to say? But I totally agree with Rebel that people can shortchange other people. People do not know the strength of other people. If a 10-year-old can get up in front of millions and talk about his dead mother, it's strength. It is absolute strength. All right. Raven, thank you, Raven. Raven always supporting your boy. Says it's been real. That's the name. It's not John Crimes is the name of the man, but he has another YouTube channel called It's Been Real. Thank you so much, Raven. It's Been Real made a video on why he left the panel. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And so you guys go check that out. You guys go check that out. Lawrence say, thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence 72117. Thank you. Super, super generous, Lawrence. Thank you so much. Lawrence says, don't let the trolls get you. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to tell who's the troll and who's not. Because sometimes, again, guys, one of my biggest mistakes is I took a woman who I thought was a troll. She was messing me up and I kicked her off and she wasn't a troll. Now I realized it while I was doing it. So I apologized to her and I had her back on. And she came back on and she gave me a $50 super chat. Proof that I had made a super mistake, that she was not trying to troll me. We just had a very big difference of opinions. But I was so new that the difference of opinion was throwing me off. To be honest, it was throwing me off. But that's on me. That's not on her. If you really believe the BS that you're talking about, you're not just trolling. If you really believe it, I should be able to listen to your BS. I mean, she was super respectful the whole time. I had a guy on here, man, and I kicked him off. Like he was supporting violence against women. And we don't do violence against men. You know, that was one of the bad things. I don't know if you guys saw that Jessica X video with Mike Rashid. It was super disappointing. Not the stream. Jessica X, of course, super professional. I learn from her all the time. But some of the stuff Mike Rashid was saying about how he didn't feel abuse against men was a thing. The same man, by the way, who admitted that he had to hide in a bathroom. A grown man had to hide in a bathroom from a woman. You don't feel like it's a big deal. Right? So, you know, whenever I hear people talking about violence against men, if you say a man is fine to hide in the bathroom, I disagree. If you want to talk about beating up children, abusing children, you want to talk about beating up women, and this guy was espousing violence against women, and I kicked him off. Now, I kicked him off. I didn't know he was a YouTuber. Why do these YouTubers, they get upset and the first thing they do is go run and start their own little whatever, right? So he started a 5-hour stream about me, fine. But then his friend the next day was trying to justify what he said. I said, listen, you can go too. He was in the comments. I said, you can unsubscribe too. So there are going to be some people who I recognize, listen, we're not going to do that over here. But at the same time, I want to give everybody, a voice. What does old school Patricia say? There are woman abusers too. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay, what does Calvin say? Shout out again, Calvin always. Says, lead attorney, what should happen to Charlemagne in your opinion? This is a great question. Because I feel like in society, what we really need is consistency, right? And how is it that Louis C.K. has to go away? How is it all these people are getting canceled? They all have to go away, but this guy gets to stick around in our community, right? I don't understand. I mean, if the Me Too movement is real, it seems like he should go away. I mean, he's admitted, guys, and it's not like, oh, there's no DNA. I hear what you're saying. The DNA thing has already been debunked, but this is a man who's going around admitting to violating women. Who wants him in our community? Guys, you guys don't go down to juvenile court much. You don't see some of the things that mothers are doing to their own children. Some of the things black mothers are doing to their own children, white mothers. So many more white mothers than black mothers just because of the number. You guys don't see what mothers are doing to their children. Does anybody want these mothers in our community? You don't see what the fathers are doing to some of these children. Do you want these men in our community? Who wants a man that goes around stating that he's violating all these women? Who wants him in our community? It's a question. Right? Raven Von Cuervo. Raven always supporting your boy. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So I am going to call up some people. I've dropped the chat. I don't know if Tommy's still here or not. I was going to call Tommy up first, but if he's not here, I'm going to. Tommy, are you here? I dropped the chat. Do you want to come on? I'm talking about you. Not bad, of course. I'm respectful. You were super respectful on my show. All right, so I see you, Patricia, Building Black, Mac Train. I'm going to get to you guys, but I do want to give Tommy a preference because I'm talking about him. Tommy, thank you so much for joining. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't. Give me 1 second. Can you say something else?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Thank you. I was messed up on my end. Thank you for joining. This stream is about what happened yesterday, specifically some of the comments that I received. And I received 3 types of comments. And so this video is addressing the comments that the most commented criticisms and comments that I received. So there are 3. The least amount, but I did get some, was why John left the show. And John did leave the show, and I'm not going to talk about why John left the show. I talked to him when he told me to call him. I talked to him. There's no beef or anything like that. We got on the same page. But his reasons are his reasons, and those are for him to discuss. And so he's done videos about him on his channel. So if you guys want to find out why he left, you can go to his channel. I'm not going to discuss his reasons. I don't think he wants me to do that. And I will say that from my point of view, if I was in his shoes, I think his reasons are totally justified. The only thing is I didn't know his reasons. So there was some breakdown in communication there. The second thing that we talked about was Jessica Reed. And a lot of people did not understand why Jessica Reed was allowed to be on the show with me, Tommy, and Choke No Joke. And so I already addressed that. And the third thing we were going to address is you, Tommy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people felt like you should not have been on the show. And I wanted to kind of take this in 2 parts. The first part, is an explanation of why you were on the show from my point of view. And you were on the show from my point of view. I mean, why you chose to be on the show, everybody has their own reasons. But for me, when I saw you in the chat, I brought you up because I was going to talk about you. I was going to talk about you and Kevin Samuels. I was going to talk about John and Choke No Joke. And I was going to talk about Cat Williams and Cedric the Entertainer. And I have a rule on this channel that if I'm going to talk about you, you're absolutely welcome to join. Right. And even people who I'm not talking about, they're welcome to join. I got some people in the back now. Like this is a call-in show. But a lot of people did not agree with you being called up. And I felt that this is an interesting moment because I want to be fair to you, Tommy, but I also want to say how I feel. And I really do feel like let's say in the Black YouTube sphere, you are right now, let's say, the most controversial YouTuber. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that, but that's how I feel, right? And so what's been surprising to me when I talk about Charlemagne the God is that I've got so many people who they don't necessarily defend Charlemagne, some of them do, but so many people say that they do not want Charlemagne canceled. They say they don't believe in cancel culture. Cancel culture has no rules. Cancel culture can come for anybody. Cancel culture is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, okay. But then I look at my comments and no one can believe. Now, I had a lot of comments and some of them were praising me and this and that, praising the stream, praising the resolution that happened between Jessica and Choke, which I thought was beautiful. One thing I did notice, though, is not only did I get a lot of comments saying that you should not have been on the show, but I got no comments saying, I don't want to say no, because I'm going to say I didn't get any comments that I saw that supported you being on here. And again, anybody is welcome on this show if I'm talking about you, because I believe in in not talking behind people's backs. But the point that I wanted to make.
You mean in the comment section of your video?
Yeah.
Well, that's odd. And I just speak frankly like you. That's odd because I read your comment section.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see some there. And I also saw one, which is the one that made me feel most odd, because I've never said anything against you and never did anything to you. And I watched someone say, Tommy is going to turn on you. And I'm sure you remember that one now.
I responded to it.
Comment and agreed with it. And I said, wow, that's funny that we as Black people do stuff like that. It'll be the people who do nothing but give you words. And the other one who, as I heard you state, how it mattered so much to you that people not only watch, but will support with their wallet. And I said, well, every time I've come, and this person said, yes, you will. And I listened to you and them.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to the other? I'm confused.
You and them saying, and I'm like, okay, what will I turn against you for? And then this person says, well, you made a reputation of doing that. Let me ask you something. Name another YouTuber whoever they worked with or did a show with, they still all doing, or did they all fall out? Meaning they stopped doing stuff with each other. The problem is we have a whole bunch of Black people who really love to just interject themselves in something. They can't find Tasha K still agreeing with the people she agreed with. They can't find Kwame Brown still agreeing with the people he agreed with. They can't find Dr. Boyce Watkins still getting along with the first people who were on his panel or the second wave of people that was on his panel. They can't name you one. Yet they still keep saying this. As a matter of fact, these are the same people who were friends with people in real life in elementary school and aren't, who were friends with people in real life in middle school and aren't, who were friends with people in real life at their job and aren't. But I've said nothing wrong. Yet all you get is Tammy, oh God. And these are adults. So I watched you do that as the attorney. Listen to a person. Shut up, Tammy. What the fuck are we talking about? This is the most insane thing that you, as the attorney, would listen to this person who said he's going to turn on you and you like that one, not the other ones. Some of the other ones you did, but not, I said,
hey, let's acknowledge that. And I don't want to cut you off. I want to be fair to you. But I responded to that. Did you get my response? I responded hours ago.
No, I had seen the response to it, and I can.
Okay. Because what did I say? I said, listen, I call it like I see it. I thought it was a funny joke. I said, I think he's trying to be lighthearted. That's what I said. Now
I was trying to be lighthearted.
No, that he was trying to be lighthearted.
Well, it would be like if you thought I was trying to be lighthearted when I said you were fraud.
Not you.
No, I'm saying I'm giving an example.
Okay.
I'm saying if you thought I was trying to be lighthearted if I called you a fraud, but then you noticed 100 people kept calling you that, then you probably wouldn't think it was lighthearted at that point, would you? If 100 people started calling you a fraud and it started just be this snowball downhill that people keep referring to you as a fraud. Because see, the joke doesn't hit when I have to get here and I read it. The joke wouldn't read to the person. because I'm reading it now over and over again. I'm watching that there's no joke. They're just sitting there doing it and they can't help themselves.
But Tommy, you're talking about all right, listen, you're
Mhm.
talking about the people in the chat, right? You're talking about, it seems like you're talking about two things. You're talking about people in the chat, but you're also talking about this comment, which you have to understand. Okay. What you have to understand is I read the comment. I took it. I thought it was funny and I responded to it. And then you responded and you said, really? Okay. And then I responded to that and I said, hey, listen, right? We're calling him fair over here. I thought it was a good one. I thought it was a good joke. I said, he's just being lighthearted. Now, maybe you say, well, I don't agree that he's being lighthearted. I don't think it's funny. Fair enough. What I'm saying to you is I thought it was lighthearted. I thought it was a joke. And I responded in kind.
Mhm.
You know, you didn't hear me saying, oh, well, Tommy's toxic, Tommy's this, Tommy's that. What did I say? I said it was a good one. And I was kind of honestly surprised. I was honestly surprised at your reaction. I'm not sure if I took it, but I didn't know if I took it right or not with the whole really okay. I didn't know if you were I didn't know if you were serious that you were offended by this.
Well, yes,
Now,
because if you look at what I know you said you have a hard time doing it, but in real time, I can put it on the screen. In real time, you have an audience of people who do nothing but go around, and this is what happens in the Black community a lot. People who do nothing for the community will spend their time trying to start shit. Burnt frog, Tommy is messy, Tammy is sensitive, over and over again. They won't speak to you. They won't say a word to you. Their whole thing is to let me see how much I can fuck with this person until I get a response. I watch people tell me I need to retire. My numbers are going down. But then at the same time, cheer you and tell you good job. You know what that's the equivalent of? A guy scoring 19 points in a game and they telling him he suck, but their friend scores 5 and they say great game. Same game. People aren't being fair. They don't care about being fair. Their whole job as Black people is to screw with other people. Period. I do the same thing you just said. Anytime somebody has a problem with me, I'll speak to them. But that ain't what they're here to do. They're to do like the Bible says, to kill, steal, and destroy. They're to kill your joy, steal your joy, and destroy your life. They wake up every day to try to claim you said something on your show that you didn't ask them to look at. So therefore, they hate you for the rest of their lives. But the question would be why? And it ain't good enough that they don't like what I said. No, I gotta be Blackie. So my skin color's a problem. But what about the other Black people who are my skin color, who are in the comments section too? Oh, it ain't just, and then they'll explain it. Oh, I don't have a problem with dark-skinned people. It's just him. Now imagine if a white person said, oh, I don't call all Black people niggers, just him. Would you still be that person's friend? Would you still think that person isn't racist? Then you have the people say, stop crying, Tommy. But when you just gave this impassioned soliloquy, disappointed in what people were saying to you, did anybody write you were crying? Has anybody wrote that Kwame Brown is crying? We pick and choose how we speak to people. Tommy, please go away. And they just keep writing the things over and over again. And you ask yourself, how could we have gotten to a resolution like we did with Jessica if they had been just like these niggas in the comment section? If they had decided they don't need to talk to each other, they just need to say dumb comments at each other.
Are you saying that I'm trying to follow you. I'm really trying to follow. I'm trying to pick out what the points are. But I don't want to cut you off. I want to give you time to talk. And I want to respond to you, but you know, it's a little difficult because I mean, you're saying a lot. And again, I don't want to cut you off. Now, I think you said something about me saying something about support with your wallets or something like that. And I pulled up somebody else. I've never asked for money I don't know where you're getting that.
No, I said, I heard you say earlier when you said it means something to you. It lets you know that this matters when you not only do people watch, but then you see somebody go out and they do that what the person did. And I said, that is true.
Oh, the
I
super
was
chat.
agreeing with
Okay.
that.
Okay. Maybe
My
I
point
misunderstood.
was, but you have a bunch of people, the people who do the most trying to cause problems are the people who do the least. And I said it relates to the real Black community. The people who you don't see out in the community helping rebuild the community, helping try to mentor children. They're the people who have the most to say, to screw over stuff, to mess up stuff. They have the biggest voice. The people who pay the least amount of taxes have the most words to say. It seems like the people who do the least amount of work, and that's why I was pointing out, your people who are actually sending money to you, they don't say that dumb crap. The people who aren't are the main ones who say stuff to cause dissension. You were having an interview and I wasn't saying a word. Even your moderators had to say to them, Tommy isn't saying anything. Is he being disrespectful to the platform, or are you, when you're sitting up here, keep bringing up his name while these men are talking? You're not even talking about what the men are talking about. You just keep bringing this guy's name up. They don't think it's anything wrong with it. They don't stop and say, you know what, you're right. Let's ignore the guy we don't like. Let's concentrate on the show that we do like. We like the lead attorney. We like John. They're talking. Let's talk about what they're talking about. But they didn't. They just kept Tammy. Mama's cooking Tammy. Mama's cooking Tammy. Then when you say something that's 100% true, deflection. But I sit here, and even right now, your line's open. I'd talk to anyone. I do it every day. You're toxic. Don't watch. There's no reason for this stuff to just keep happening. Then they'll just keep doing it. And the only reason I bring it up, because that's the dichotomy of the Black community. That is what goes on. The people who do the least, these people come online to talk about everything and everyone, but then they say other people shouldn't do it. The same people who tell me that I'm toxic are fans of Tasha K, who I just watched this woman in a salon call women bitches and hoes over and over and over again. They didn't stop. Tammy is insane. Tammy, seek professional help.
Yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. Let me get some of these super chats. Yemi says, got the pounds. Thank you so much, Yemi, with the pounds. Says, is Charlemagne the God protected because one, he's popular, two, his case shines a light on other people who are also engaged in questionable activity? Yeah, that's a great question. Somebody said in the last chat that in the stream that I had before that he actually has a contract with Revolt or whatever the business is. So it's not like he can really even get fired. Like he has some type of management or ownership position, which might explain why he's so entrenched. It's not just a regular employer-employee relationship. Like, it's deep. It's actually deep, guys. You guys are teaching me about it. All right, we got Calvin, and thank you, Gimme. We got Calvin with the super chat. It's hard to listen to someone who calls people Kevin they don't agree with gay. All right, I can understand that. Mel H. TS calling out others on your platform is a problem. All right. What else we got?
This person says, why are you going around this space that
Give
you
me
said?
1 second. Give me 1 second, please. All right. Demand. Oh, Demon. Yeah, you guys get me with the names. I'm sorry about that. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says, it sounds like you want to have a police force for YouTube. And I think that's what I think what you might be talking about is the whole cancel culture thing. And this is the point that I wanted to address with you guys. Nora's son, always supporting me. Thank you, Nora's son. Says, Tommy has great points, but history shows if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He is great at his job, but he has been divisive throughout his career. All right. We got Mel H again. Thank you so much, Mel H. Says, why do you allow TS to speak on others that you are not speaking about to your channel? Check that. All right. Thank you, Mel H. And I think that, wait, we got a few more. We got one more. All right, Calvin Dickerson says, so nobody can call out Kevin Samuels' feminine behavior and him stealing other people's talking points and lying about why is that wrong, lead attorney? Yeah, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk. We didn't have time, guys. Well, I wanted to talk about three things yesterday, and we really only got to talk about one. But I wanted to talk about the Tommy Sotomayor, Kevin Samuels talking points and things like that content, and also the Cat Williams and Cedric the Entertainer, right? But today I wanted to talk about why is it that maybe I seem to get a conflict of so many people want Tommy gone, but at the same time, so many people don't like cancel culture. And so what is the resolution, right? What's the distinction? What are we really saying? To me, in my opinion, Tommy, I agree that you are the most controversial person in the black side of YouTube. I don't know someone that's bigger and more controversial. Can you find some people in the black pill community who say some controversial stuff? I think so, but I don't think they're as big as you. Certainly they haven't been around as long as you and don't have the name that you have. And so what I want to know from the audience and what I want their take on is, what do they want to happen with you and people like you, right? Are we doing some type of blacklist thing? Because what you guys have to understand is, and I think people who operate podcasts deal with this, especially white podcasts. They get criticized for having people on their platform, right? So if I have Donald Trump on my platform, then I'm going to get all these Democrats saying, lead attorney, I cannot believe you had Donald Trump on. And if I have Kamala Harris on, I'm going to have all these Republicans saying, I cannot believe that you had Kamala Harris on. And so what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, who the hell are we supposed to have on? I can't have Pocket Watching with JT, the accountant, on every single time. I'm going to get a lot of great information from the Pocket Watcher. Y'all go check him out. Financial planner, accountant, black, killing it. But I need to talk to other people. Now, Democrats and Republicans, nice people, mean people, no one's going to have a problem with the Pocket Watcher. But I need to talk to other people. Some people say, oh, why do you have Choke No Joke? I'm talking about him. I'm going to talk about this man. Why do you have Tommy Sotomayor? Because I'm going to talk about him. So the reason, Tommy, that I brought you up today is because I'm going to talk about where you and people who kind of fit and kind of what you're doing, where the people think you should be. And should you even be allowed to talk on YouTube? Which is crazy to me, right? Like, and podcasters deal with this, I don't want to throw around the word Hitler too much, but, you talk about Sam Harris, you talk about Lex Friedman, big YouTubers, big podcasters, serious podcasters. And the issue comes up, if you had the chance, and Lord knows, Tommy, and for everybody in the chat, I'm not comparing you to Hitler. I'm just trying to get the most extreme person in the world. I'll probably get demonetized just for saying his name. That's how extreme he is. And it's a thought experiment. It's like, if I can get the most extreme hated person in the world, should I interview him? A lot of people say no, and a lot of people say yes. And this is the conversation that I want to have today, right? So this is why this is the point. Now, I also talked about Jessica Reed too, and let you guys know that I don't have a problem. If I could do the whole thing over again, I would absolutely let Jessica Reed come up and tell her story. And if you guys, some of you guys, just like you said, you felt it was powerful. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was beautiful. But some of you guys don't want her to talk to certain people. But she's in her mid-30s. And I feel like she's a strong woman and she can make her own decisions. Right? So that was the first point. But the second point, yes, I wanted to talk about kind of where you should be and how you feel about talking to, but since you're here, I guess I can ask you, how do you feel about talking to controversial people? Do you think there should be a line? Do you think there should be people who are just blacklisted? How do you feel about cancel culture. What do you think on that?
Well, the reason I show things, and like right now on my end, I was showing the comment section, I just showed how fast the words are coming and how people are trying to top each other by saying the dumbest thing possible. And these are adults. They're not 15 or 14. They ask, why would I be here? But got my picture there on the thing, but I guess I shouldn't be here. Why is he here? The silly question. But when it comes to cancel culture, I look at it from a psychologist's point of view. And as a psychologist, our job is to try and understand people. So we will run to, kind of like a fireman runs to the fire, not away from it. Kind of like a policeman runs to the problem, not away from it. I would rather run to find out the individual and find out why they think that way. So why wouldn't we talk to them? And for the people who keep asking, why would you talk to these people? Isn't it funny that on Netflix, some of the top shows are always you going to talk to the person who did the most heinous act? You trying to find out what that person did and what was on their minds. But then they'll turn around and say things like this. But they'll watch a television show because, see, they have an opportunity to be able to speak here. So they're going to constantly say, well, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. But just ask yourself this question. The show you did yesterday came to a resolution. It was Black people on a panel talking, whether they agreed or disagreed. And it ended on a good note. Anybody who's claiming they want unity, why would they still have a problem with that? Why would they still have a hatred for that and say it still shouldn't have happened? It's because we live in dysfunction and want dysfunction. The only way to find out about anybody who's done something crazy is to talk to them. Cancel culture is ridiculous. And as the liberals are finding out, it bites everyone, including them.
Yeah. A lot of people agree. A lot of people feel like cancel culture doesn't have a place. I don't know how that squares with the whole, Black people should police other Black people. Like the Black community should police itself. The Black people should not lean on just these white cops all the time and the white judicial system. Back in the day, it used to be that, you would do something bad and your neighbors see you, your aunt see you, and then your aunt gives you a whooping and your aunt tells your mom and your mom gives you a whooping. And then your mom, after your mom whoops you, she tells your dad, hey, she tells you, wait till your dad get home. And now your dad whoops you. Kind of community policing instead of depending on the white judicial system and these white cops, because you know how they treat us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a thin line between community policing and cancel culture.
Well, here's a problem though. With community policing, just like all these people showed up to say how much they don't like me. I said it last night on my show. I said, but there'll be a drug house, a bando. But you know what I've never seen them do? Stand in front of that and make sure we stop that. So you'll go out of your way to type at somebody and call them Tammy. And why is Thomas Harris on this show? I can't believe this BS is what somebody wrote. But you know what they don't do? They don't go out there and call Man. Why is Jamar Quavius Jenkins? We don't want to call him Man no more because that's the name he call himself. We going to call him Jamar Quavius Jenkins, what his mama named him. They don't do that. They don't go to Jamar Quavius Jenkins' Instagram and call him out and say he's selling drugs to kids. There is no community policing. These people will sit online and screw with people all day because it's safe for them to do it. But if they got this kind of passion for people who really hurt them, because I didn't hurt them. I made a video they didn't have to watch. But the man in the community who's sitting up there and prostituting out their daughters, the man who's selling drugs to their community, the man who beat their sister, the man who didn't pay child support to their sister, they ain't outing that man. They ain't saying he don't go take care of his kids. They ain't putting his life on the line. So no matter what they say, they're not doing this to people who are really hurting them. They're just doing it to the internet. Cancel culture allows you to be lazy and not deal with the real life. Because if it was, guess what we see on the Shade Room? A bunch of Black people standing in front of the drug house and forcing them dudes out. A bunch of Black people standing there and outing the drug dealer. But you won't see it. You will only see them go after people in this little box or on their phone.
Yeah, I hear you. I think there are a lot of reasons for that, and asking people to put themselves in danger when they have families. I think that's a big ask. But I hear what you're saying.
But their families are in danger when in those communities. If they're coming to say that I'm doing them wrong by making a video, you're justifying it by saying, well, it's dangerous to do the thing that's actually hurting them. So let them get it off their chest by screwing with people who aren't hurting them.
No, I'm not justifying anything. I'm stating a fact.
No, it is dangerous, but when have we ever had what Martin Luther King did? Was that not dangerous?
Okay, I'm just
Who did any of this?
I'm just saying you're calling it a justification, and it's not. It's just a fact. All right. Let me shout out Black Dynamite. Says, I don't want Tommy gone. He just needs to admit his hypocrisy. No need to be vulgar and insult, but instead you insult the character when TS is no saint. We got Uncle Sug. Tommy called CPS on Black Mother Live and lied on her. All right. Got anybody else?
The one man you just said there.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, please. Michael Metroke the fourth. That's a lineage right there. The fourth. Likes are free. Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, if you guys want to hit the like button, that would be appreciated. Thank you so much. Uncle Sug again. Tommy called CPS on Rashida Strober and lied on her. All right. We got Glender Shivers. If the lead attorney's knowledge isn't appreciated, then kick rocks, period. Thanks, guys. All right. So, gotcha. Okay. Well, Tommy, I'm going to invite some other people up because I want to talk to others and figure out, I want to get some other opinions on what people think. I do agree that when you're on probably any platform, the chat can get corrupted. I agree. It seems like you're reading the chats a lot. I don't read the chats. I only read the super chats, and even those can be more negative. I will tell you that when I don't have you on here, when you're not on the show, are there a troll every here and there? Absolutely. But if you go back and look at my last live streams, you will see a big difference between how my chats are when you're on and how my chats are when you're off. Having said that, I thought yesterday that, the way that you behaved, the way you comported yourself was the same way I did it. I thought it was excellent, right? So I don't necessarily think that you were being judged on a day-to-day basis. I think you're being judged on the past, on things that you may or may not have said or done. And I think that's going to follow you around for a long time. And is it fair? Is it not fair? I mean, I guess it depends on if the people are right or wrong or not. If you actually did what they're accusing you of doing, if you said what they're accusing you of saying. And even then, it's all judgment. You're going to be able to say one thing and some person's going to say it's fine. And you're going to be able to say the exact same thing and someone else is going to say it's terrible. But, I can understand you being, you not being happy with the way that the chat is right now. But I assure you that this is not the way that the chat usually is. This is not the way that my subscribers typically behave. And,
I didn't say it was. I know, like, the person who just kept donating you money is the person who just stalks me. He's not a fan of yours. This man flew a drone over my house.
Fair enough. And see, that's what I'm saying. So I think this follows you around. And so, when you talk sometimes, like when you were talking, I was asking myself if I'm like the Mike Rashid. Mike Rashid did a video with Jessica X, and it was clear that Mike Rashid was insulated. Like he didn't know a lot of what was going on. And so when you're talking about how, things are this way and that way, and I reflect back on my channel, on my chats, on my live streams, and I don't really see what you're talking about at all. But to be fair to you, when you're on a live stream and you look at the chat, the things are the way that you say they are with the negativity. So I don't know.
You had a man who was a fan of mine 2 years ago This is all I did to him. During the show, I said, stop playing my live show or I'm going to flag you. He walked back in front of the camera. He shot a bird at the camera. I then flagged him and it took his video down. He went from being a fan to that day when I flagged him, he stalked me for 2 straight years. This man went to my mother's church in Atlanta so he could prove he could touch my mom because he mad I flagged his video. Jesus. But he didn't come to my house. He didn't come see me. But he went there to bother my mom because you don't like me.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. And touching somebody's mother is, we're going to talk about something out of bounds. Something that's crazy.
They said that's what you get. That's karma. Wait a minute. So karma, victim time. But you see how you felt when they were taking what you did yesterday out of context. And when you went on your monologue, you were upset. And you didn't get the kind of hate that I get daily. You didn't get the kind of misunderstanding when you say something and they turn it around. I'm all over the country. If they want to do something to me, they can do something to me, but they won't. I don't have bodyguards with me. I'm walking around by myself. But no, they want to do something to your child and do something to your mama. Tammy, you hate your mom. So if I hate my mom, why would you go bother my mom then? Always the victim. And this is what they're doing. They hype up other people to do something. Corey Holcomb said on his show about 2 weeks ago, I don't see how Tommy's still walking around alive. Now, do you think that's something as an attorney that should be said over the airwaves? Not, I don't see how George Zimmerman is walking around or any of the people who've killed these so-called black folks. Nope. He said me. Because, well, I say things that are so wrong, someone needs to kill me for it. Now imagine if white people felt that way when they have the power and the numbers to exact this revenge on blacks. That if blacks say things that they don't like, they should be killed. Imagine.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. White people kill each other all the time for things that they say, right? And I see it because I'm an attorney. Usually what happens in the black community, it absolutely happens on the white community, but in much higher numbers because they're more than us. What are we, 10, 12, 13% of the population? So I hear where you're coming from. And it could be, listen, when you're saying, when I get mad, I don't get the type of reaction that you get. I think you're absolutely right. Now that could be a function of a lot of things. It could be a function of the fact that, every day I show up, I got this damn suit and tie on, so people treat me different. It could be the fact that when people start screaming in my damn live streams, I mute them and I say, hey, let's calm down. Like, this is not that type of show. It could be that I've only been on YouTube a year and some months. So people don't know me. They haven't had the chance to hate me yet, right? Maybe it's coming. Familiarity breeds contempt. It could be a lot of reasons. And I don't know really what to tell you about that. But I think it is what it is. I don't know if it's fair or not, because I don't know all the things that you've done in your whole life. I don't know all the things that you've said in your whole life. I have heard you say some things that I thought were way out of bounds. At the same time, when you come on my stream, I feel like you're extremely respectful. And if I'm going to talk about you, I have you on, right? I'm not picking and choosing. Oh, I'm going to talk about this person. I'm going to have him on. But I'm not going to have this other person on, and I'm talking about him too. Right? So if you want a place where you're always going to be treated with respect, you can come here and talk to me. But, the chat's going to follow you around. You say that someone's in the chat who flies drones over your house. I can't control that.
No, I didn't say you can control it. When I'm talking about it to make a point. We are one breath on one side of black people's face. They're talking about how they want some kind of unity. But if you watch what the people are doing in the midst of either 2 people arguing or 4 people arguing or whatever it is, they're not trying and they don't want any unity, because if you see those people get together, Sinetta and I have a conversation, no issue, no problem. You'd assume the people would say, well, they disliked each other and now they're talking like men. But instead, they were all saying, I need to go at him and he needs to go at me. How dare y'all talk together now when y'all hated each other at this time? This seems like they're playing us, was the responses. So you have to ask, do these people really want any kind of resolution? Because every time they see it, they get upset. People would typically cheer that there's a resolution, but they don't. They try to keep and further the division because that's their entertainment. So how can anybody say that there's really a legitimate attempt for people to get together when if you saw people try to get together, the numbers would go down? But if you saw people arguing and stuff, the numbers would go up. If you and I start cussing each other right now, somebody would go tell somebody to go tell somebody to tell somebody. It'd be 1,000 people in the comment section. Just like that, because we start cursing. But if we start talking about something and we start building, and we're laughing and joking, the numbers will go down.
Listen, I totally agree with that. I totally agree that conflict sells, right? Boxing matches sell, MMA sells, violence sells. And it's not just, it seems a little limited. I don't want to say disingenuous, but I'll say limited when you say it's in the Black community, because they were whole stadiums, whole amphitheaters. What do you think the Roman Colosseum is? It's conflict.
No. I'm talking about a group of people who are claiming. There's a difference. You got to stop saying that. Every time we do that, we say, well, we're white. But no. White people aren't going around begging Black folks don't shoot them.
I'm not saying white people or Black people. I'm talking about humanity.
I'm talking about people who are claiming that they need unity. If you're saying this, if I say I need my house clean, you can't talk about the fact that Stanley Steamer isn't at other people's house either. They're not complaining that their house is dirty.
It sounds like you're saying that if Black people say they want unity, then you want 100 people, 100% of those Black people to fight for unity.
Or a greater number, because if you look at the numbers are showing not only is it not 100%, it ain't 90, it ain't 80, it ain't 70, it ain't 60, it ain't 50, it ain't 40. You have an individual who went out and said, I'm going to go after people who go after Black men because we need to stop having people in the media go after Black men. As soon as they got power, what did they do? They've attacked nothing but Black men. Somebody points it out, they's hating. But why is that not truth? If a truth is a truth, you said there's something that I've said that you don't agree with. Well, I'm here. Why would you not be able to say to me, hey, I don't agree with that. Why you said that? That seems too far. And me as a man, if I stood in front of the world and said it, why wouldn't I be able to explain it? It wouldn't matter how I said it. It wouldn't matter what you thought when you saw it. We're now in front of each other talking. You should be able to say to me what you found disgusting or horrible about it. And I should be able to explain somehow how I did it. Now, at the end of it, doesn't mean that you will agree with me or I can explain it away. But it will mean that either you understand me and why I said it, and I understand you and how it bothered you when you heard it.
Yeah, because it's not the point of the live stream. I know it's hard, especially because I have these live streams sometimes and they'll last 6-7 hours and we'll go everywhere. But right now, that's not the point of getting into a back and forth. I can tell you what I heard you say that I thought was deplorable, and you can tell me why you said it. And in your head, you can absolutely be 100% justified. Now, I don't think there's anything that you're going to be able to say from my point of view that's going to change my opinion on that. However, I feel like if I was in your shoes and some of the things that were said and done made me feel that way, then I could grant, hey, if I was in your shoes and I was you and I felt like, and I was involved in it, I'm not involved, I'm a bystander. What the hell? You are way more knowledgeable about this. You're way more into it. So if there's not going to be any type of, there's no problem. I was going to say, if there's not going to be any type of resolution, why go down that road? But resolution connotes that there's a problem. There's not a problem. I feel that one thing in particular that I heard you say, I thought it was out of bounds. But here's the thing, Tommy, I'm in my mid 40s. If you take a transcript of everything that I said from age 21 to age 40, you're going to be able to find in there some things, sentence. Hey, lead attorney, what about this sentence? And I'm going to say, oh, well, what had happened there? Well, okay, fine. What about this sentence when you were 23?
Look at what they did to Chrissy Teigen. She went out and told the whole world how messed up it is that people are doing XYZ. Come to find out, she did worse. Look at what they did to Kevin Hart. Well, all these jokes, you shouldn't make these kind of jokes. Found out he made those kind of jokes. It's insane if we're going to do this.
I agree. Listen, everybody has said bad things, right? Everybody has said bad things. Unless
they have a problem with me, but they have no problem with what this man that they keep throwing in my face said about Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, give me
that is her own fault she dead. But it's mama's cooking because that's the best new thing out there.
Shout out to Greg O. Y'all leave Tommy alone. He's not salty anymore. He used it all while devouring mama's cooking. All right. Shout out to Cass 718B. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cass, and thank you again so much, Greg O. Who else we got? Oh man, did I get another one? Wait. Little Rock, did you give me a Little Rock, did you give me another Jesus Christ, Little Rock, I swear to God. Give me 1 second. I'm not as good as Tommy on doing these damn live streams. Man, Little Rock gave me, I know I missed it, guys, and I feel terrible about that. I was talking to Tommy here. Little Rock gave me another $99 super chat. I cannot tell you. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's not gonna work. Hold on. I really want to get this on video. I'm just so appreciative. I don't know if you guys can see it right here, but thank you so much, Little Rock 2517. I am super appreciative of you and your generosity. It's really hard for me to express to you, Little Rock, how much your support means to me. And again, you know, everybody's support means a ton to me, and the fact that you're here and you support me through all this. But especially things like this. I'm not accustomed to all this generosity, to be honest. And I really appreciate it. So you are the man, Little Rock. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You can kind of leave me speechless. It's hard to leave an attorney speechless, but you are absolutely doing it. So thank you. Kilo C. What does Kilo C say? Another great show lead attorney. I've been listening to TS since Here Had It Hooligans. Here Had It Hooligans and what is it? The BT 1000s. Probably, gosh, I don't know how you came up with some of that stuff. This is amazing. We got Rapa Israel. Tommy, if you truly cared about Black people, why don't you acknowledge Kwame's discussion on coding, trade schools, etc., instead of your personal issues? All right. We got Sean again. Thank you so much, Sean. Tommy, you want unity, but you always call Kevin Samuels gay and insult Kwame Brown mama. Be the change you want to see. All right, we got another one here. Oh, Demon, am I saying your name right? 75% of America hated Martin Luther King before he was killed. So deep. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that super chat. Am I saying your name right? Please let me know if I'm saying your name right, OD man. Rapa Israel, Tommy, how do you justify calling Kwame's dead mom, who isn't here to defend herself, the B word, yet you claim to care about Black people? And you know, just I think you're muted, Tommy. I didn't mute you, but I can't hear you.
No, I muted myself because I'm not trying to talk over you, but we're just reading what these people are saying. It's like we're not talking, we're just reading what these people are saying. Imagine if Jessica was up here and you're just reading what the comments are. But
I was actually going to say that. I think you were on Jessica or Jessica was on you. I heard some live stream where both of you were talking and Jessica was like, hey, I read the super chats and this is what I do too. This is what I do. I know you don't like it.
No, I understand, but it's like, doesn't it? Like, imagine if you were interviewing. I don't know. Like I said, that's why I muted it. Just go ahead.
Okay, but after the super chats, we can talk about it. I mean, give you a chance to respond. But I am just like Jessica. I know Kevin Samuels gets all these super chats and doesn't read them. I know Kwame gets all these super chats and doesn't read them. I know you get super chats and you don't read them. Me and Jessica, we read them. Shout out to Jessica X. We're talking about Jessica X, guys, not Jessica Reed. Paul Coso, the lead attorney, you have a brand. TS is someone you don't want to be associated with. And guys, this is kind of what I wanted to talk about, because are we not going to talk to people? This is, I don't know. We'll talk about it. I am embarrassed. Tommy Sotomayor. I am a embarrassed Tommy Sotomayor fan right now. All right. And then we got one more here. Calvin Dickerson. A lot of people like to keep beef started, especially in our community, then wonder why we are not a strong race of people. We hate on each other all the time. Yes, Calvin, there could absolutely be more unity between us. Now, Tommy, you're certainly welcome to comment on anything that you've heard in the super chats. I will say that the one thing that I was talking about where I thought it was out of bounds was when you called, you referred to Kwame's mother as a B. And I thought that was way out of bounds. Now, I'm sure you have some justifications for it, and you could talk about it if you want to. I'm not sure that there's anything that you're going to say that's going to change my opinion on it, but my opinion doesn't mean anything. And I'm just an attorney in Atlanta. All right. So I don't mean much. I definitely thought that was out of bounds. But I don't want to read through all these super chats and not give you a chance to respond. And then after you respond, there have been some people in the back, so I kind of want to talk to them too. But is there anything you want to say?
If it bothers you to hear a man call a woman a bitch, then it should bother you to hear a man call a woman a bitch, to refer to any woman a bitch. If not, then what you need to start doing is explaining why one woman can be called a bitch and one woman can't. Why one man can be called a bitch and one man can't. Why one man can be said he looked gay and another man can't. You're picking and choosing there, and that's really funny with anyone who would say, well, you call that man's mom's a bitch, but that man's called other people's moms a bitch. I don't understand that. It's okay that that man calls that person a mom's a bitch, or that person a bitch, or that person a punk, or that person a fag, or that person it's all right for do all that. But we're going to pick out this one person and say, well, you shouldn't say it about that person, but you can say it about somebody else, and he can say it about somebody else. So it's just interesting.
I haven't heard him refer to anybody's mother as a bitch. If he's done,
the women you're referring to are somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's cousin, somebody. Are you serious? You're saying this?
Yeah, I haven't heard
for you then of all the women who have children that he called a bitch.
Wait, listen. I haven't heard Kwame Brown refer to anybody's mother as a bitch.
That's what I said. I don't mind putting together a list for you. We can shorten that right there. You know, you do that when you're in court. Okay. Somebody says, I'll get the evidence. You don't sit there and keep debating it. They're going to get you the evidence. I'm going to get you the evidence.
And listen, if you give me the evidence, that's fine. And I will absolutely say that I think that's out of bounds too. Right? Now, I'm not sure.
Why aren't people going at the music where the people are calling each other bitches?
I'm not sure.
Yesterday called several women who were mothers. Jaguar Mills is someone's mom.
I'm not sure how that helps you.
No, I'm saying if we have a problem, then why don't we have a problem? It should be out of bounds. The person who is saying it's messed up, watch me call the mother of Kanika Jenkins a bitch. Refer to a guy from the 90s. You may not be a person who listens to rap, but we typically refer to women bitch. The women refer to themselves that. Listen, I don't know the person. I'm not saying anything. You listen to rappers and you listen to people go on shows. This is literally what they say. When referring to, I don't know the person. I didn't say anything about the person. I don't know their name. I was saying bitch woman. But you watch me for years calling a person a BT 1000 and anything else, and that's a joke. Ha ha ha. But you said that about this one person. Well, that's a problem. Well, if you listen to me for years, why was it not a problem when I said it about anybody else?
Yeah, the hair hatted and the BT 1000. I thought that was funny.
But
I
I'm saying
really
all
did.
these things should be a problem. I don't mind if someone was
Well,
being
that's your opinion. That's your opinion. Listen, there's a difference between our veterans and insurgents, right? It's not like all people are the same, right? You say, oh, well, lead attorney, you're picking and choosing. That's how people operate. My children, to me, are more important than your children.
Exactly.
It's not all of this, all children are equal. Are all children equal? Yeah, in some sense. But in another sense, it's my children. All right. So you say, oh, well, you're picking and children. You're picking and choosing. People pick and choose. Like, don't get confused about that, Tommy. That's how people operate.
No, I'm not confused. What I'm saying is, if that's the point, then I know these people are coming from their own personal place. So I can't worry about someone coming from their personal place of why you call this woman a bitch and it's okay and not that one.
Yes.
Because I would be jumping through hoops just like you. That's why you said, how am I going to listen to you be okay with one person I interview and not okay with the other one? You were just pointing out you're going to keep doing what you do, which is be fair down the middle, and other people may find it unfair.
Yeah,
That's
I totally agree with you. There's no reason why you should lose a wink of sleep because some black attorney in Atlanta felt like one comment you made over 15 years or 10 years or whatever was out of bounds. Like, you should still keep.
Felt like what you did was out of bounds. That girl's a victim. You shouldn't have you had 3 men going at that woman. They felt like you did. And you said, I still have to do. I didn't do what you felt I did, but they felt bad about it.
100% agree. 100%. You're going to hate this, Tommy, but I need to address the super chat. Oh, Black Dynamite. Address the super chats, Tommy. Tommy, do you want to read this super chat?
I do. I even told you when I was up here, if you open the lines for them, I talk to them. I do my show every day. Open the lines up. These people are just fucking around.
Yeah, I'm not going to open up a line to someone who's flying drones over your house. I'm not going to do it.
No, that dude's crazy, but I'm saying, but they even find that funny. I get if they were doing everything to me, that would be fine. But you can't turn around and say, we worried about you called Kwame Brown's mama a bitch, but when they showed up at your mama's church, that was funny. I don't listen to y'all when y'all do that.
I agree.
You can't do that. It's the equivalent of saying I can call a woman a fat bitch while she's alive, but as soon as she died, everybody got to say how great she was. So when she was alive, it was okay for me to dog her. But while she's dead, now I got to be nice. Listen, why wouldn't I be nice to her while she's alive, where she can hear it?
It's a part of our community that's dead people. Maybe for the reason that I have people that maybe for the same reason that you're on the show, Tommy. Like, dead people can't defend themselves. They're not around.
But live people can't defend themselves either, because when they see you're frustrated with them lying or characterizing you, they just keep doing it. They don't stop. And so how can you defend yourself if the people say, I hate you, and that's it?
This is where this is where we see something different. This is where we see something different. I mean, even yesterday, I called out a live stream. Someone said something, I disagreed with it. And the guy was like, okay, thanks for the clarification, or thanks for clearing that up. Like with people on this show, on this channel, we have back and forth all the time. And sometimes people agree with me and sometimes we don't, and we talk it out. Like, all of this toxicity that you're seeing on your channel, it's not over here. It's over here today. It was over here yesterday, but it wasn't there the day before.
Well, I don't see it on my channel. That's just it. That's why they're over here complaining, why is your comment section members only? Because why would I sit up here and why? This is the problem in the black community. We have a bunch of people who aren't building having a say-so. If you make it to where a lot of these people have to pay to do it, they wouldn't do it. Same thing if you had it where if there was no system in place that gave women housing, food, and shelter for having children, they wouldn't just have them. A lot of times when you make it to where the least of us can be involved in something, then they'll do it because it costs them nothing. They don't go through anything. How much does it cost you to make a fake profile to say the most vile things at someone? Nothing. Because you're hidden. You're sitting at home in your underwear eating Cheetos while you're calling someone else ugly. You're calling someone else fat. You're not putting your face to that. These people are literally saying, open up your stuff so I can screw with you. But they don't see me going to somebody else's stuff and screwing with them. Whatever they say about me, you have to come to my channel to see it. You never see me go around and I say, hey, I'm going to go over there, and every time so-and-so goes live, I'm going to be in his comment section. And if he blocks me, I'm going to make another profile, and I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep doing this every day until I can get that met. No. Why? Because they don't respect boundaries. The young woman came on the show last night. They went at this black woman because all she said was, I'm not offended at Tommy. That's all she said. She didn't say she agrees with me or anything. And they do it with everyone. So if you're related to me, if you're dating me, they're going to go after you, but it's because they watch a video of mine and it offends them. But it's a video they don't have to watch. It would make no sense if I know your comment section is doing what it's doing now, and I come back tomorrow when you're not talking about me to keep looking, to jump in to say something, to see if they'll say something to me, to complain.
But it seems like it's working. It's working.
No, I said it would be stupid if I came back. I'm pointing it out because that's what I do. I point out that you have a group of people who are always talking about how somebody else does them wrong or misjudges them or mischaracterizes them. And yet they do it worse than any of the people they're talking about.
Yeah, I think you have a group of, let's say, 40,000 people, Tommy. And I'm not talking about your subscribers. I'm talking about just 40,000 people on the internet. And they love to torment you. And they will follow. If you come to Lead Attorney, they'll come to Lead Attorney's channel. You go to Bernard's channel, you go to Jessica X, whatever channel you go to, some of these 40,000 people are going to follow you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So it would make no sense if you did a show tomorrow. And it's not about me. And correct. I just jump in the comment section to start saying something so they can come at me and then go back and say, look at what they did to me. No, that means I'm wanting it to happen at that point because I'm showing up and putting a target on myself and saying, hit it.
Right. And I guess I absolutely see your frustration because you cannot escape these people, right? You can't escape them. But they're not going to go away. And I think they feed off of you getting so hyped. You know, I wonder in 6 months if you just never address them when they go away, because they're not getting.
Well, that's what my point is. That's why they don't do things to me. They do things to things around me
to get under your skin.
Saying you don't date black women, to finding the black woman I date and stalking that woman who's doing nothing.
No, well, listen, Tommy, I've listened to some of your live streams in the past week or two, and I see people actually paying you to come in and torment you. They will pay you $5, $10, $20 to come in and make a negative comment to you. And you're like, this is ridiculous. I totally agree with you. I can't imagine paying someone $20 to insult them. I get it.
I'm only pointing out the psychology and the pathology of a people that point out how we're at the bottom of a lot of stats, that point out that everybody's doing something to us. But anybody should be able to look and say, but that's the same group of people who are willing to pay to mess with someone that they can just not watch. I'm not going to mess with the lead attorney that I don't have to watch you. I just don't have to watch you. Tommy, but that's not the thing. When you saying you should just go away, but the numbers jumped up by 2 times when I walked in to now. So if I should just go away, why the numbers go up?
Well, you have
to just go away. Wouldn't the numbers have? Think about it. Do you think if you put up gay porn right now, if the numbers went up, do you think that the people want to see the gay porn or don't?
I think they want to see what's going on.
And if you say tomorrow I'm going to have gay porn on here again, and the numbers are the exact same and go up some, and the people are saying, we don't want to see this, lead attorney. We don't want to see this. But the numbers went up. Which would you believe? Your lying eyes?
Listen, Tommy, I deal with this every day. All YouTubers deal with this every day. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, there are times when I want to tell you guys about something that I want to talk about. And I do a video with Bernard. I do a video with Ike. And you guys, you don't watch it. But I do a video about Charlemagne the God, and he gets 100,000 views. Like, and listen, you know, Outkast, yeah, they had that song in the 90s. Like, listen, I want to Andre 3000, like, I want to tell you guys about some stuff, but you know, the only thing that you buy is the booty shaking stuff, right? It's just how people are. It's
now
just
I'm
how,
hogging your platform.
it's just how people are.
I'm hogging it. I've taken up. Somehow I've made you do this, just like you made Jessica come up here.
Jessica's
you
never
Jessica to talk to these men.
Oh, Jessica, yeah. I made this. I was thinking about Jessica X. All right, give me 1 second. Devin Allen, you guys need to back off Tommy Sotomayor. He is the head captain of the men's rights movement. He always will be. Thank you so much, Devin. Nora's son. Tommy hurts all credibility with his 4th grade whataboutism. Just do what made you popular and stand on it, bruh. Stop being a liberal and crying. Who else we got? Talk about Solomon King. I missed it. There, I saw it, but I can't pull it up on the screen. Solomon Kincaid in the house. Solomon Kincaid, a strong brother out there in Silicon Valley, representing us, man, representing us out there in the tech field, just killing the game. Thank you so much, Solomon. I did see it right before it disappeared. Thank you. Got Calvin Dickerson in the house. What does Calvin say? Cancel culture was really made people scared to disagree with each other, true, and speak their truth. How can we end cancel culture, and why does it exist? I think it's just a thin line, because if you don't have a way to, you know, way back in the day, they would just exile you, right? They would just put you on a ship and drop you off in an island and say, listen, you're causing too much damage. You're causing too much damage in society. We're not going to put you in prison and feed you for the rest of your life. We're not going to kill you, right? 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, they put you on a boat and just send you to an island. They'd exile you. What is that? I mean, is there any more cancel culture than that? Right? And you kind of see this now. It's like people, hey, they want you to disappear. They want to take down your Twitter. They want to take down your YouTube. They want you away. They want you gone. They don't necessarily want you dead. They don't want you in prison forever, but they do want you to disappear. It's absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What's that?
McCarthyism was cancel culture.
Yeah.
The Red Scare. Everybody's a communist. If you say this, if you do this, you're a communist. And they had the whole public against people who did nothing wrong, because the masses are easy to move. They are. That's why they can jump from person to person right now on YouTube. They can go from a person they never met or never seen. 2 weeks ago, the person would have 27 people watching their live. Now they have 40,000 watching their live in 2 weeks, and everybody's swearing by these people that they've known for 2 weeks. But then they'll have other people like Joe Biden who actually put their black brethren in jail, but they vote him president. They've apparently forgotten all about that. They forgot the super predator comments. They forgot the we need the segregation comments. They forgot the lauding of Byrd. They forgot all that to make him president. It's funny how we pick and choose what people can do. I haven't put a person in jail and I hadn't killed a person. Hadn't made a person go broke. Hadn't made a person lose their home. But your politicians have. And you don't have this kind of angst or anger towards those people who you're putting money in their pocket.
Yeah. Kenya, The Craft. I've never heard that last name, The Craft. That's nice. Tommy, pay for background checks. Then Black Dynamite. Thank you so much, Black Dynamite, again. Thank you. Tommy, what are your boundaries of what you won't say? Because I seen you delete comment about people insulting your daughter. So by your logic, you are a hypocrite. Thank you so much.
Maybe you can understand that more than I do. I don't understand that, but you said I should answer the super chats. What did that person say?
It's still up there on the screen. I'm not sure if you can see it.
No, I'm saying I don't get it. I don't understand it. I delete comments on my own page of what people are saying about my own child, and I shouldn't. But you didn't hear what the lead attorney just said, which was he feels different about his child than just children. He would feel different about his mother than mothers in general. That is the world. But you're telling me that a man who's a father should allow you to write what you want. So I guess you should be able to come to my house and write that my daughter's ugly on the house, and I should leave it up in the interest of fairness.
I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying, listen, if and I don't know I don't know exactly what he's saying. If but it seems to me that he's saying that if you're willing to say anything, if you're willing to dish out anything, then are you willing to take anything? And it doesn't seem like you're willing
to say what you want on your channel. Yes, because I said what I wanted on mine. That's what fair is. These people don't know what fair means. They just say dumb stuff. They're not good at analogies. If I say what I want on my YouTube channel and you say what you want on yours, that's fair. But you shouldn't say, you said what you wanted on your YouTube channel, so I'm going to go on your YouTube channel and say what I want. No, just like I can cut my grass the way I want, but I'm not going to go over in your yard and cut it that way.
Gotcha. All right. And then we got One Fly Boy, but you could have just not went on Kwame's show, but you continue to engage in the behavior you're crying about by being a troll, making 50 videos about Kwame Brown.
Isn't that just what didn't I just answer that? He made 50 videos about Boyce Watkins. Y'all don't say he's stalking him. People, you look up my name every day. Dudes are making videos about me over and over and over again. Y'all don't say they're stalking me. Y'all pick and choose.
Yeah. Houdini Unchained. I like that name. Houdini Unchained. Thank you so much, Houdini. This might sound elitist, but I generally believe you are too good to associate with some of these people. I like how you represent Black men. Thank you so much, Houdini Unchained. I like that name too. I like the way you spelled it. Got my man Rebel in the house again. Jesus. Thank you, Rebel. Rebel says, as long as we are free to say what we want, cancel culture will be around. It has always been around, just in different forms. Lenny Bruce, NWA. I agree. I agree that cancel culture has always been a part of our community, and it always, it just seems like it always will be. Thank you so much, Rebel. Houdini again. Thank you. The lead attorney, you have a great band, quite frankly. I don't mean any disrespect to any of your guests. See you at the top. Thank you so much, Houdini. I appreciate it. And we got Denise T. Tommy is hard to look at and listen to. Cry, baby. All right, so damn, did I miss your? Why you ignore my super hat? Stephanie, listen, put your do not donate again. Just write again what your super chat said. I apologize for missing it. I never want to miss a super chat. So please just write it in the chat and I will read it. Thank you so much. All right. So Tommy, is there any last thing that you would like to say? I'm going to go on to some other people, but I definitely wanted to give you a chance as well to talk.
No, I'm going to go ahead and go because somehow I took up 2 hours of your time when I was here for less than an hour, but it's cool.
No problem. I appreciate you coming on, and you're always welcome back. Again, guys, whoever I'm talking about, you can always come on. All right. So, and you're certainly welcome back too, Tommy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring up a few other people. I'm going to bring up Patricia. Sorry. And I'm going to bring also Building. Give me 1 second here. Building Black Wall Street. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you. How are you?
Good. I shouldn't have said, can you guys hear me? I should do one at a time, right? All right. So Patrice, let's start with Patrice. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. I didn't want to bring you up at the same time, right? I remember what we talked about before. But I'm interested.
No, I understand. I actually was just hoping that Tommy hung on a little bit because I kind of wanted to reiterate what I had said yesterday about my experience with going on his platform for the first time. So I wanted to kind of say it to him where he could see it, but he left. So maybe another. No problem. Maybe another time. To answer the whole Jessica Reed question, I think that even with the Me Too movement, a lot of Black girls just just fall by the wayside, right? Like a lot of Black girls are not as important depending on who they know, who they're connected to, and then who the perpetrator is. And we all know who the perp is in her case and the power, that he has. So I think that is why people are overlooking Jessica Reed's situation. It's going to be very tough to get Charlemagne the Violator off of his pedestal, because you got people that are in that industry are protecting him, and some of them are, they show the same behavior, if you will. Some of the people that he knows. So to say that it's over 60-some thousand Black girls that are missing, presumed dead, presumed in caught up in the sex slave trafficking and things of that nature. And our community is always the community that is looked upon last, or not looked upon at all, as to say that there's a problem there. So that answers the Jessica Reed's scenario. We can continue to advocate for her. We can continue to brainstorm what are some of the things that we can do, right to iHeartRadio, right to Revolt, to try to have him removed. There needs to be definitely a movement done, but all I see is people just constantly say, cancel him. But what actions are they taking? I wrote iHeart and I wrote Revolt. So for me, that's an action on my part, because I'm an individual. But Absolutely. We can do that as a people, or each individual can do something. Call iHeartRadio, call Revolt, state your complaints and things of that nature. That's how the Black community is only going to get action, is when these problematic people and entities exist to cover up for people that are in power, like the Charlemagnes the God. If we don't put some form of action behind our words, because we can sit here in the chat all day and say cancel, but we can say that, but without action behind it, nothing's gonna get done.
Right. Let me ask you this. Give me 1 second. I want to ask you about how you felt about Jessica coming up, because a lot of people did not agree. A lot of people thought she shouldn't come up. But first, let me get some of these super chats. Trash Can Wave says, every woman's someone's daughter by Tommy. It's true. It's true. We got AK Harrison. AK Harrison says, Tommy, get back to the stuff that made you infamous. Mr. Twerking by the Cakes. Twerking by the Cakes, whatever that means. Thank you so much, Jessica, for asking me to put the link in the chat. You guys can absolutely come up. Oh, Stephanie, don't be that way. Please, Stephanie, put what you wrote in the super chat. I'm sorry that I missed it. I'm sorry that I missed it. Please just write it in the chat. Don't super chat it again. Just write it and I will absolutely read it. Okay, I will absolutely read it. I think that's kind of what we got, right? Oh, we got another one here. We got my man Thomas Walker. Damn, I haven't seen Thomas Walker in a minute, guys. You guys don't know Thomas Walker, but he was supporting me probably when I had about 40 subscribers, man. Thomas Walker been there since day one. Says, Big Brother lead attorney, Tommy is imploding. Used to be entertaining, has become more sensitive, jealous, and complains too much. Do better, Tommy. Yes, thank you so much, Thomas. It is great to see you again, man. Great to see you. Great to see you. Just want to make sure that I got everybody. I hate missing these super chats. I know Tommy doesn't like to when people read them, but I always try to read them. Always. I just appreciate you guys so much. And then we got Raven again, La Guapa, La Reina. We got Raven Von Cuervo with the $1 super chat. Thank you, Raven. Hope you are doing great. Hope you're doing great. Shout out again to the Steel Curtain. And yes, if you guys want to call in, please do. Please absolutely do. All right. Patrice, what do you think about Jessica coming up? A lot of people commented and said Jessica shouldn't have gone up with gone up on a panel with 3 men, and it wasn't right for her to do. What do you think about that?
I think Jessica made a choice, like you said, to go up there. She's a grown woman. And if she wanted to go up there of her own free will, then why not? She knew who was up on the panel prior to her going up on there. I think one of the main reasons why she went up on there was to address her situation with Choke No Joke. Yeah. So for them to say that is, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of odd to me. But the thing about the platforms and the YouTube people, all these YouTube people are fighting with each other, because when they continue to fight with each other, all their numbers go up. So they're going back and forth with each other. So, one can't, it's like the pot calling the kettle black, because Dr. Boyce Watkins made so many videos talking about Kwame. So what do you expect Kwame to do but not respond back? It's a back and forth thing. And at some point, it's got to end at some point, because there has to be a resolution, like the resolution that was resolved in reconciliation between Jessica and Choke. And guess what? If we can't do that, then let's just agree to disagree. But are we going to continue to just keep bashing and talking about each other and going back and forth? Like, at some point, that's going to get tiresome and lame, and people going to leave your platform if that's all you have to talk about, right? I know I will. You have different subjects, different things, different topics. That's why I like coming on your platform and talking. And it may be someone that I don't particularly care for or like on your platform, but I'm never going to tell you who you shouldn't or should have on your platform. I'm a person that just because I don't like them, don't mean they can't get along with you, or, you can't find some happy or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to go, oh, you shouldn't have that person on your platform. They're just bad. My thing is, I let that person find out for themselves. Yeah. And then when that person gets burned by them, then you learn that sometimes that's the best way to do it.
That's exactly right. And guys, listen, this is something that every single YouTuber struggles with. And it's not something that I appreciated until I started my YouTube channel. So I'm going to give you guys some behind the scenes stuff. And the stuff that, when I tell you, like Patrice, you already know it. But when you're a YouTuber, you feel it. You feel it. Like, I will do a video with Ike or with the Pocket Watcher, or, a video about Jordan Peterson, or video with Bernard Riley. And, it'll get, 3,000 views, 5,000 views. And then I do a video about Charlemagne, and it gets 30,000 views. And another video, it gets 45,000 views. And then I do a regular video, and it gets 3,000 views. And then I do another video about Charlemagne, and it gets 90,000 views, and now 100,000 views. I do a video about child support. It gets 2,000 views. I do a video about Charlemagne. It gets 150,000 views. I'm just a guy like you. I mean, what is YouTube telling me? YouTube is telling me lead attorneys. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The people like the drama. The people like the drama.
I mean, honestly, guys, there was a part of me that was like, everybody's talking about Boyce Watkins. I'm going to be truthful with you guys. I mean, there was a part of me that was like, lead attorney, maybe you should do a video about Boyce Watkins. I don't want to do one. I don't know what to tell you. I do not want to do a video about Boyce Watkins.
Listen, I was a follower of Boyce Watkins and believed in what he was talking about. And this is just my perspective and my opinion. When I see problematic behavior, problematic, condescending tones and talk and toxicity and when I figure out for myself what I think you are and my perception of you, then I'm going to back away from your platform. I chose to do that with Dr. Boyce. I chose to do that with Tasha K because I see certain behaviors. Now, I had never followed Tommy Sotomayor, but I've heard of him through somebody that I do follow. By her name is Michi X, and I know that they had a falling out, but now they are friends, and they don't agree on everything. But I guess for the most part, you know, you don't have to agree with everything. I don't agree with everything with my best friend, but she's my best friend. But when I see certain behavior of toxic behavior and a certain cognitive distancing that I see in certain people, is that only their point of view is right and yours is wrong. They don't want to listen to yours if it doesn't align up with their views. That's the cognitive distances that I see in a lot of YouTubers and a lot of narcissistic behavior. So those are the people I choose to stay away from. And I told you I had went on his platform, and I wanted to tell Tommy Sotomayor that, and that's to his face, because I had never been on his platform. And when I went on, that's what I picked up and got from him. The cognitive dissonance is, if you're not agreeing with him, his ideology, his ideas, his beliefs, his values and things, or his feelings, when he's in his feelings, then he shuts you down and don't want to listen and all of that. So I just choose to stay away from those type of platforms. But I wanted to go on for myself to have my own judgment, regardless to what everyone else has said about him, so that I can see for myself. And now that I have, then I chose to stay away from certain people's platforms. And I think that everybody needs to make decisions for themselves about these YouTubers when they choose to follow them. So that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely hear you. Absolutely hear you. I'm gonna get to you, John, in 1 second. Just let me read these super chats, and then you're up next. Get Calvin. Calvin says, "Lead attorney, do you think if they wanted to lock up Charlemagne, they would have did the criminal justice? They would have did the criminal justice system work if the evidence was there?" Listen, I really do, guys. I really do think that they wanted to get him. I do. I think they were going to lock that black man up. They were going to put him in prison. They had convened the grand jury, right? They were prosecuting him. They had issued the indictment. They were going after him. And the mom, yanked Jessica away, and for her protection, right? For her protection. But I definitely think that the state was trying to get him, which again, the state does not have any problems locking black men up. And I don't have any reason to believe that they would have a problem locking him up. So I think they were going to get him. They had convened the grand jury, issued the indictment. They were rocking and rolling. But the mom didn't want Jessica to go through it. What does Rebel say? And again, thank you so much, Rebel, for your support. Rebel says, "The lead attorney, I would love to see a series on mentorship or planning for black men, and I will help. Also, a series on prominent black lawyers." And he said, "That'd be awesome." And Rebel, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you're given these great ideas. These are absolutely fantastic ideas about a whole series. Rebel, no one's going to watch it. No one's going to watch it. A series on mentorship or planning for black men. You're going to get, if O'Shea does it, O'Shea will get 15,000 views. But he'll do a damn video on Lizzo and he'll get 40,000. And that's O'Shea with 150,000 subscribers. I got 20,000. I do a video, a whole series, and I like the idea of a series too. A whole series on black mentorship for young men, young black men. It's going to get 1,000 views each video in the whole series. I do some BS video on Boyce Watkins, on Charlemagne the God. It's going to get, 30,000 views minimum. A series on prominent black lawyers. It's going to be me and you that are going to watch it. That's it. It's bad. It's so terrible in a way. And every YouTuber fights it, Rebel. Every single one. You could talk to Jessica X. You could talk to O'Shea. You could talk to anybody. There are all things that we want to do. But we know, man, this thing is not going to get views. And there are all things that we do videos on and our heart's not in it. And it gets good views. I'm telling you guys, I am fighting not to do a fucking video of Boyce Watkins. I don't want to do it. But you guys might make me. I mean, you guys watch it. That's the thing. That's the bad part. You guys absolutely watch it. So I think your idea is absolutely on point. It really is. It's a great idea. What does a rebel say? Think about how Jordan Peterson grew. There is a market. Yeah, but I think Jordan Peterson grew. Well, he grew over conflict. He grew over telling those white LGBT plus community people that he was not going to use those pronouns. He didn't care what Canada said. He didn't care what the law said. He was not going to do it. And he had people shouting at him. He had students on campuses encircling him and screaming at him. He also had thousands and thousands of hours of video on YouTube already. Thousands of hours. Right? You can take what O'Shea's done, what Tommy's done, what I've done, probably put it all together, and that's Jordan Peterson's body of work online. So I'm just starting out. I'm just a baby YouTuber. It's going to take me a long time to get on Jordan Peterson's level. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you put me in that category. It's going to take me about 10 years to get there. What is Ustride saying? Thank you for your support again. Thank you, Ustride. Thank you so much. What does Ustride say? Or you can use the drama to pull him in like Kwame. Yes. I mean, can anybody say Kwame's not getting views on conflict? Now, let's be honest. This is not conflict that this man created. This was conflict that they brought to this man's door. Right? They brought it to his door. They talked about his family. So,
yeah, someone that was quiet for 20 years, quiet for 20 years. And now they've awakened a sleeping giant.
It's true. Says, what does Prophecy Act say? You are so fake, lead attorney. Listen, if I do a damn video on Boyce Watkins, honestly, in my heart is how I'm gonna feel. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do a video of Boyce Watkins, but watch next Tuesday. What hits what drops? What's the lead attorney going to drop next Tuesday? Right. So you might have a point there. John, thank you so much for being so patient. What do you think about all this, John?
How you doing, lead attorney?
I'm good. And everybody, guys, listen. John has the Rebuilding Black Wall Street YouTube channel. Please go check it out. I'm going to do an interview with him on his channel pretty soon. We're going to get the dates together, and but please check him out. So what do you think about all this?
Well, the thing with Tommy, I heard some of Tommy videos, and I can understand why some people would be upset. Some videos was good videos. Some videos were over the top, just like you said. See, I learned to do this thing called, if I like a video he doing, I listen to it. If I don't like a video he doing, they got this thing right above, on your computer monitor, and it's an X over there on the right hand side. Mm-hmm. I click that. I don't listen to the video. I don't know why people feel they need to counsel somebody. You have an opportunity to either watch the video or not watch the video. We just can't talk to people that we only agree with. We got to talk to people that we don't agree with. How you gonna ever build a community if we only talking to those people that we like?
John, I totally feel you. And listen, I'm going to drop the link again. I agree 100% with you, John. But I'm going to drop the link. And I want people who do not want me to talk, who didn't want me to talk to Tommy, to come up and express your views, right? And listen, you know me, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm definitely going to listen to you. I listen to Tommy. Lord knows I can listen to you, right? Because, you know, Tommy, there's not a lot of people who are going to go where Tommy is capable of going. Having said that, I felt like Tommy was super respectful, not only today, but yesterday as well. I felt like he really respected the platform. But if you feel like no one should talk to Tommy, if you feel like no one should have him on the platform, please come up. Please come up and let's talk about it. So I didn't want to jump you. I didn't want to interrupt you, John. What were you saying?
No, I mean, don't people see how ridiculous that is? I mean, this country at one time had a civil war. People killed one another. People killed each other, brothers, their fathers, their people killed one another, but at one time, those people who was on opposite sides of the battlefield had to come together and form a peace. Did everybody agree with everything? The South, just because the South lost, it don't mean that the South all of a sudden believe that slavery shouldn't be still around. They still believe that. They didn't change their minds just because they lost the war. But what happened was you still had to talk to those people, or you're never going to pull the country back together. How could you put a country back together and say, you know what, until the Southern people say, I'm 100% against slavery, we're not going to talk to them? Would this country ever been great like it is now? No, it would have fell apart. You cannot build a community. You cannot build a country. You cannot build anything unless you are able to deal with people that you disagree with. And Tommy and Kevin Samuels or whoever, it's the same way when you're dealing with individuals like that. You're not going to agree with everything they say, but a person would be ridiculous to come on here and say everything Tommy say is bad. Everything he say don't make sense, because it's a lot of things that man said that was bad. And there's a lot of things that man said that made sense. And you just got to take, what you need from it. I don't have to tell the lead attorney what he should take from it. I just let me take what I want to take from it, and lead attorney take what he want to take from it. Why do what a lead attorney take from it had to be the same thing I take from it?
That's true.
So it makes no sense. I'm retired military. I served to allow Tommy. I went in some bad places, and I served to allow him to say what he want to say. That's the reason. I served with men who had completely different political viewpoints than me. My life was in those men's hand, and their life was in my hand. They were more, say, Trump voters, and I'm more, whatever. I don't really say I'm a particular political party, but they had the Confederate flags in their rooms and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, those men would die for me, and I would do the same for them. Because if you want to do that, want to counsel Tommy, I guess we might as well counsel 60 to 70% of our soldiers, because 60 to 70% of our soldiers are Republicans, right? The majority of the military is conservative. It's Republicans. The majority of the military come from the South. Southerners serve at a higher rate than everybody else. So what we're going to do, counsel them, we're going to kick them out the military because they like their Confederate flags and their Confederate monuments, and don't agree with our political, what we believe in politically.
No,
so where do it stop?
Exactly.
So with you having Tommy on, I don't understand why people would say don't have him on, because still we're gonna have to deal with Tommys every day. It ain't like you not have Tommy on. It's not going to be somebody else that don't think like Tommy.
Facts.
You still don't have to deal with that person, whether it's on a battlefield, whether at the grocery store, whether at Disney World. You're going to still have to deal with someone that don't agree with what you're saying. So I don't understand this whole, if you don't agree with me, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. Because then that's when a person really becomes dangerous, because I don't know what you're thinking.
Right. You're exactly right.
So, lead attorney, I think you did right. You allowed, like I said, if you speak about a man, have the courage to look at him in his eye and say what you got to say.
Yeah.
I mean, saying things about people that can't defend themselves is just ridiculous, especially if you got an opportunity for this person to speak. I understand if Tommy said, you know what, I'm not going to get on your show. Okay, there's nothing you can do about that. But if he
Right.
said, I get on your show and defend my viewpoint, who are you to say that he can't? Who are you to tell the lady Jessica she can't get on? I mean, just imagine if Jessica wanted to get on and people find out that you wouldn't let her on.
Oh my God.
How would that have went over?
That is such a great point. I didn't even think about it like that. You are absolutely right.
It would have been so many people upset saying lead attorney did not let Jessica come on his show to defend herself.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be worse. Because who are you to sit there and tell this lady she's not strong enough to face these men?
Yeah,
I mean, you gonna make the choice for her? I mean, is it your place to make that choice? If she chose to come on, you did not call her and say, Jessica, come on my show.
Right.
She was watching the show. She said, I got something to say. I want the world to know my point of view. And you gave her that opportunity. It wasn't your place to deny her that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It was your place to give her the opportunity. And you kept everything respectful. It wasn't like you let, Joe, the guy or Tommy or anybody talk over her.
Right.
You allowed her to say what she had to say. You allowed them to say what they had to say. And you came to a resolution. What's the complaint? I don't see why people are saying you shouldn't have let her come on with 3 men. You telling me she's walking around in this world just around women?
Exactly right. It's exactly.
When she go in the grocery store, she's going to be around 3 men or more. I'm pretty sure.
You're right.
That it don't make no sense, and that's part of the reason I started my channel. It's because we have to learn. Going to other countries and dealing with people in other countries, you have to be able to sit down with somebody that was just trying to blow you up yesterday. And you got to sit down with these people and try to work out a resolution and say, okay, I won't blow you up if you don't blow me up.
Right.
And you have to do that. And we have to do that in our Black community as well. We have to stop saying, I'm not going to sit down and talk with you, even when you wave the white flag, or even when I wave the white flag. We just don't keep going at one another.
Mm-hmm.
That's just ridiculous. You can't build on that. And we need everybody. If we're going to pull ourselves out of this situation we in, we are going to need everybody, because you got to understand, all of our wealth is with the baby boomers. People,
right.
Our kids that's 30 years or younger, they don't have any money. They're not going to have any money. So what are we going to do to help build for them? What are we going to leave them?
Totally agree. Listen, everybody in the chat is just loving what you're saying, John. Everybody's like, this man is spitting facts. He's spitting facts. So everybody, please go check out John's channel. It is called Rebuilding Black Wall Street, right there on the screen. Please go check it out. Go subscribe to this brother. You've heard him spitting facts for the last 5-10 minutes, and everybody has loved it. Everybody has loved it. So please go check him out. Let me give a quick shout out to Peace Like a River. Says, lead attorney, you are absolutely right. Jessica is an articulate adult and should be treated as such and not an eternal victim. Man, what a phrase, an eternal victim. Absolutely right. Peace Like a River. Thank you so much for the super chat, but thank you also for the comment, because I totally agree with you. Totally agree. Got my man, the Steel Attorney, aka Steel Curtain, in the house. Thank you, Steel Curtain, as always. Says, when emotions run hot, they have a tendency to derail coherent and critical thinking. Disagreement is a byproduct of living in a democratic community. Yeah, you can't get away from it. I totally agree with this. When people are democratic and everybody has a vote, everybody has a voice, you're going to get some conflict, and that's what's going to happen. But that's part of living in a democratic society, a democratic community. just like the steel curtain said. Absolutely. So, guys, we have been on all 2 hours and 45 minutes. I've got some consults this afternoon. Also, guys, if you want any consults, you can certainly, I should have put the link, but you can go into any one of my videos, and there's a link if you want to do a consult. I have some consults I have to get ready for this afternoon. So I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much for participating. Want to give a special shout out, of course, to Little Rock 2517 for really blessing me. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support of the lead attorney. It means more to me than you know. It really does. Also, special shout out, of course, to the Steel Curtain and to Gail and to Jessica X as well. Jessica really helping me out. Thank you so much to the moderators. Thank you to Tommy. Thank you to Patrice. Thank you to John. Please go check out John's channel. If you need a consultation, Jessica put the link in the description. Jessica's so on it. And I'm going to take that off so you can see John's channel, Rebuilding Black Wall Street. Y'all heard him spitting these facts. Everybody was like, facts, 100, fire. He's spitting that fire. Please go and check out his channel. He's got a lot more stuff there. He's just starting out his YouTube channel. He's got awesome content. So please go check it out, guys. All right. So I'm going to end it here. Now, I don't think I've given any, I answered any legal questions, but if I had, it was just legal information. All right. It wasn't legal advice. None of this has been legal advice. And I'm not your attorney. I am the lead attorney, and I'm here to help you lawyer up. All right.